live, please work. Says you're live. Hi.
Not the way to wear that. Hello.
Okay.
Welcome.
Yeah, hi. I have so many tabs open on my screen that I can't see anything. But if you're here, hi, thanks for coming. This is gonna be fun, hopefully. But we'll see if that happens. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes for more people to hopefully arrive. And then we'll get to it. So if anyone feels like sharing information about like what characters they're reading for, or anything else that they feel like sharing, now would be the time.
Can I share nothing?
Yeah,
You'll
please.
Find out. You'll find out.
There's a way to do that, Ethan. It's called staying silent.
You should try it.
Okay. Thanks for your positivity.
Starting off positive.
I have to move because the ceiling was too low over there. You won't hear
Okay.
anything. They shouldn't.
So, hi everyone watching at home. You better be at home. And yeah, so we're going to get started soon. Becca was supposed to read for Emily, but Becca is not available yet, so Charlie will be filling in. But I think we're ready to get started. So, The Devil Wears Prada. Go ahead, Max.
Fade in. Interior. Chateau. France. Day. An elegant 17th century mansion a short distance from Paris. A dinner is set for about 100 people. Everything is perfect. Exquisite flowers, linens, silver. Anyone who's anyone in the fashion world is there. We see Lagerfeld, Valentino, Marc Jacobs, Nigel Kipling, a dapper man in his late 30s, early 40s, speaks at a podium at the center of the dais on one side of the room. Other interviews from someone else on the days, so we see Nigel from the back.
Her name has become legend. Her magazine is the Bible for anyone interested in style, taste, and sophistication. Without a doubt, one of the most elegant women ever to walk the planet. I give you Miranda Priestley.
Loud applause rings out, and from the back we see Miranda Priestley approaching the podium. We can only make out her fancy updo, the curves of her fancy gown. As Miranda lingers, taking in the applause, we reverse to see whose point of view we are watching from. Andy Barnes, 20s, pretty, elegantly put together. She stands a few feet behind Miranda. She applauds, smiling. Some of Miranda's light spills onto Andy. Miranda starts to talk, and we hear a brief screech of feedback. The screech dissolves into flashback to exterior, Midtown Street, day. The screech of a taxi rounding the corner. 6 months earlier, Andy walks out of a subway station, clutching a piece of paper with directions on it. Andy looks nothing like the polished young woman from the chateau. Her hair and makeup are college student simple. She wears her best, white shirt, blue skirt, comfortable shoes. Morning rush hour pedestrians bustle past. She checks her paper.
2 blocks to 57th.
Exterior, 57th Street, day. She looks up at an address, 125. She walks in. A guard quickly stops her. She should sign his clipboard, which she does.
What floor is Elias Clark?
Beat. The guard just looks at her. Her heart starts to pound.
Don't tell me.
Honey, you want West 57th.
Exterior, 57th Street, day. Andy busts out of the wrong building and starts to run, but she's moving against the pedestrian tide. We widen out to see Andy, bucking the flow of people like a salmon going upstream. She gets to an intersection, starts to cross the street, and just misses being decked by a bike messenger. He flips her off. She barely hesitates, starts running again. Exterior, 57th Street, day. Andy is looking at numbers, and she sees, looming in front of her, an elegant tower. Elias Clark, 125. She runs towards it. Interior, Elias Clark, day. Andy trots into the building, out of breath, and stops, overwhelmed by what she sees. The lobby looms around her. The place is so big, so unto itself, it probably rains in here. Interior, human resources office, day. Andy sits across from a bored-looking woman, Sherry. On the wall, behind Sherry, are framed covers from all the Elias Clark magazines. A news magazine, a cooking magazine, a fitness magazine. And run away. Sherry clicks away on her computer.
Thank you for replying to my query letter. I'm very excited about the opportunity to.
You like race cars?
Actually, for me, it's a toss-up between race cars and monster trucks.
I have 2 openings. One at Auto Universe and one at Runway.
The fashion magazine? But
That's it. That's what we have.
what if I come back next week?
Might have nothing at all.
Interior, runway reception area, day. Sleek, elegant, hard-edged chic. Behind a large reception desk is an elegant logo that says, Runway. Andy walks over to the desk.
I'm here about the assistant job.
The receptionist points her toward a waiting area, where there are a few other women waiting, each a tall, thin, dressed to kill fembot. Andy tries to smile at one of them, who looks away. Andy sits. She can hear 2 of the other women chatting softly.
I can't believe I'm even in this office.
Oh, I know. I would murder my best friend to get this job.
Exterior, reception, later. Andy is trying to arrange her stuff on the uncomfortable sofa when suddenly a taller, thinner, and amazingly more groomed version of the woman in the room walks in. This is Emily, who looks the part of the sleek fashionista, but is propelled by a core of barely temped down anxiety.
Andrea Barnes.
Emily looks up. I'm so sorry I broke up.
Yeah, can you just repeat that part? You're good.
Yep. Emily looks up. Their eyes meet. As Emily takes in how different Andy looks from everyone else, Andy springs up and follows her down the hallway. Interior, runway, day. Emily walks Andy down the hall.
Who put you up for this job?
Human resources sent me.
They do have an odd sense of humor.
At the end of a long corridor is a bullpen. 2 desks outside a large corner office. Andy can only see part of the corner office, but it is seductively bright, sending light streaming into the bullpen. Andy and Emily sit down.
Miranda has 2 assistants. I'm the first, and we're interviewing for the second, junior assistant.
Pauses, dramatic.
Miranda is an amazing woman, a legend. Working for her sets you up to work anywhere in publishing. 1 million girls would kill for this job.
Sounds great.
The thing is, Andy, we are a fashion magazine, and an interest in fashion is crucial.
What makes you think I'm not in fashion?
Emily gives her a look. Suddenly, Emily's BlackBerry goes off. She gasps.
Oh my god, no, 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 no!
What's wrong?
Exterior, Elias Clark, day. A black sedan pulls to a sudden stop outside the building. Interior, runway, day. Emily springs to her feet.
What the hell is she doing here?
She begins rapid-fire dialing of 4-digit extensions.
She's on her way! Tell everyone!
Just then, Nigel, looking dapper as usual, rumples over to Emily.
Her driver text message. Her colorist has the flu.
Nigel turns and calls out to the office.
Man your battle stations.
He runs down the hall, popping in Altoids and brushing himself with a lint roller at the same time. Exterior, Elias Clark, day. The sedan door opens. We see more flashes of Miranda. $2,000 crocodile monolos, Chanel jacket, perfect hair, fabulous Harry Winston earrings. Interior, Elias Clark, day. Everyone is in a high state of alert. Assistants frantically push clothing racks out of the way. Editors race into their office. Andy peers in, sees one of the editors changing from kitten heels to sky-high stilettos. Sees another curling her lashes, another lining her lips, another pulls on a body shaper under her dress. Interior, Elias Clark, day. We watch Miranda, still only a partial view of her, click-clacking through the lobby in her 4-inch heels, and we see people reacting to her. Guards, assistants, and secretaries cower. Distinguished executives bow their heads in respectful greeting. Miranda maintains a high rate of speed toward the elevator. As she's about to get in, she sees a lowly editorial assistant in the elevator. He immediately leaps out.
Sorry, Mrs. Presley.
She doesn't acknowledge his existence. Her perfectly manicured finger presses one of the buttons. Interior, runway, day. Emily looks around to see if everything's perfect. Notices Andy.
Oh my god, you're still here. Go!
Andy gets up.
No, stay. I don't want you walking past her. Just sit there and I'll pray she doesn't notice you marring the area.
Andy sits.
Wow, this is like self-esteem camp.
Interior, runway, day. Miranda steps out of the elevator, and for the first time we see her head on. Miranda Priestley, in all her glory. She is stunning, perfectly put together, a white Hermes scarf around her neck. Miranda's look is so distinctive you can spot her a mile away. She is unlike any other beautiful woman. Singularly, Miranda. Interior, runway, day. Emily runs up the hall to Miranda and walks to her office.
Why didn't you confirm?
He did. He must have gotten sick overnight. I am so sorry, Miranda.
Sorry is just an excuse to make the same mistake again.
We see Andy watching this, but Miranda seems not to notice her.
Here's the bulletin so far. At 7 o'clock, Simon called from the Paris office. She figured out dates with Testino for the Rio shot and confirmed with Giselle. Then at 7:15, Michael Kors called about the model of the year party. He's at his house in the Caymans. I have that number. At 7:30, Natalie from Glorious Foods called to see whether you'd like the baccarin filled with mixed berries, praline, or warm rhubarb compote. At 8:15, Mrs. Samuels called to remind you about parent-teacher conferences at Dalton tonight. You and your husband have reservations at the La Bernardine. Immediately following. And at 8:30, Donatello Versace called about the upcoming Miami trip. She wants to know, do you need any staff besides the driver, chef, Pilates instructor, personal assistant, 3 maids, and a yacht captain? Said to call her back ASAP, as the good yacht captains get snapped up very quickly.
Fine. I'll be ready to roll calls in 2 minutes. Let's try Donatello first. Then I want Michael, Simone, and then Jay-Z. And tell Nigel I need an answer about swimwear.
Miranda stops at Emily's desk, takes off her coat, dumps it on Emily's chair, walks past Andy. Emily is relieved. But then,
Who was that?
damn, she noticed her.
Nobody. I mean, I was pre-interviewing assistants for you, and she's the last one, but...
I'll do it. You obviously can't do anything, right?
Miranda goes into her office. Emily looks at Andy.
Oh my god, this is so not happening to me right now.
Interior, Miranda's office, day. Andy enters, hesitant. Behind her, Emily watches, nervous. Andy now has a better view of Miranda's gleaming office. A single flower in a Steuben vase, photos by Avedon, Penn, Testino, and Meisel. A large photo taken by a very good photographer of Miranda, her husband Stefan, and her twin girls, Cassidy and Carolyn, and playing on a beach in the Hamptons. Iced Pellegrino on a coaster on the desk. Every current issue of any relevant magazine, fanned out precisely on a table. Andy walks in. Miranda is busy writing, doesn't look up.
Who are you?
My name is Andy Barnes. I recently graduated from.
Andy hands Miranda her resume, which Miranda ignores. She finally looks up and gives Andy her patented once-over, top to bottom. Every molecule is dissected. The phone buzzes. Miranda picks it up.
Yes, all the swimwear by 3 today.
Hangs up.
What was your major?
English with an emphasis on journalism.
Why are you here?
Because I think I could do a good job as your assistant, and
Why are you here?
Andy is so taken back by her directness that she blurts out the truth.
my resume got me a meeting with human resources, and they said it's this or Auto Universe.
Miranda takes this in, pleased by her honesty.
You don't read Runway, do you?
No,
And before today, you had never heard of me, had you?
no,
And you have no style or sense of fashion.
that depends on.
That wasn't a question.
She finally picks up Andy's resume, glances.
Editor-in-chief of the Daily Northwestern. Impressive.
I also won a nationwide competition for college journalism with my series on the Janitors Union.
Miranda holds up her hand.
That's all.
Andy, startled by the abruptness, keeps talking.
That uncovered the exploitation of the.
Miranda stares. Andy abruptly stops talking, heads for the door, but then she stops and turns.
Okay, listen, I may not know too much about fashion, but I'm smart and resourceful, and I will work very hard. And
Miranda says nothing.
that's it. That's what I wanted to say. And now I'll just. Bye-bye.
Interior, McSorley's, night. A dark, loud, bustling bar. One of those mix-something bars you spend your 20s in. Andy is with her boyfriend, Nate, a friendly, handsome guy with a great smile, and their friends from college, Doug and Lily. Doug is built like a linebacker and sweet as hell. Lily is artsy and offbeat. Andy is in a full-body cringe.
Basically came out and told her I had no idea that she's one of the most important people in New York publishing. Oh, and then I rambled like a crazy person.
When do you find out you got it?
Have you not heard what I've been saying? I was a jackass. I'm not getting it.
You never know. Miranda Priestley is famous for being unpredictable.
Oh my god. How is it that you know who she is and I didn't?
I'm actually a girl.
That would explain so much.
Seriously, Miranda is a big deal. I bet 1 million girls would kill for that job.
Hey, now you're really scaring me.
He shrugs. Andy thinks.
Maybe I shouldn't let this bother me. It's a fashion magazine. It's all about cleavage and lip gloss, right? I turned down law school to be a journalist. Runway's not right for me.
Her friends exchange glances.
I don't know. You do have to start somewhere.
Yeah, look at Nate. He's flipping chicken breasts at O'Neill's now so he can work his way up to being a chef. And I would take any job in the art world, even if it was not exactly what I wanted.
So what you're saying is I just blew my big break in journalism. Great.
Beat. Andy puts her head in her hands, bummed.
Luckily, I already have my dream job.
Huh. You're a corporate research analyst.
Totally rocks. Best things are the free bagels on Thursday and the ladies.
They look at him.
Okay, so there are no bagels. And only a couple of ladies.
Interior, Nate's apartment, dawn. Small, with a view of an air shaft. The beds are futon. On the floor, Andy and Nate are asleep. Dim light starts to trickle into the apartment. Nate wakes up, pulls Andy closer. Soon, they're kissing. Their kisses become less sleepy and more urgent. And at that moment, Andy's cell phone rings. Loud, with a ringtone that's ironically obnoxious. It says, "Oops, I did it again." Andy feels around, finding the phone.
Hello? Now?
She looks over at the alarm clock, which reads 6:45 a.m. Interior, Andy's apartment, morning. Andy, in a hurry, has tried on every bit of clothing she owns. There's a huge discard pile on her bed. Her closet is empty. She looks at her outfit in the mirror and is promptly overcome by a wave of self-hatred. She tries to pull her sweater off. The neck hole is too small. She hops around. Interior, reception, day. Andy steps off the elevator with all the runway girls who are turned out to perfection. She looks completely out of place. Interior, reception, day. Andy sits on the body twisting sofa. Emily strides in.
I hope you know that this is a very difficult job for which you are totally wrong, and if you mess up, my head is on the chopping block.
She instantly turns on her heels. Andy follows.
Oh, no pressure then.
We have 7 minutes before Miranda gets here. Let's go.
Interior, runway, day. Emily walks Andy through the hallways of the offices, introducing her to people, though not slowing down.
This is Jocelyn from Accessories. Jocelyn, this is Andy, the new me. Andy, this is Steph, Assistant Art Director.
All the women we're meeting are around 25, 6 feet tall, and about 100 pounds. The male employees, straight or gay, are all expertly styled and elegant. Suddenly, Emily sees a tall, gorgeous woman.
What are you doing here, you witch?
I just popped in over to say hi to Nigel.
Emily and Lisa hug. Emily turns to Andy.
This is Lisa. I'm the old her. Miranda loves her and got her another totally fab job.
Andy looks at Lisa, curious.
It's not a big deal, assistant editor at the New Yorker.
New Yorker? You're kidding me.
Yeah, she's a huge kidder, especially with people she doesn't know or care about.
She gives Lisa a look. Can you believe these newbies?
And here's the man himself.
She waves her arm towards the dapper gentleman Andy saw yesterday with the Altoids. He extends a hand to Andy.
Nigel Kipling, fashion director. You must be the new Emily?
He studies her, a more benevolent version of Miranda's appraisal. Finally, he sees her feet.
What are those?
My shoes? My mom bought these for me at Nordstrom's my sophomore year.
So they're, like, vintage?
She smiles. No idea. He takes her hand and spins her around.
Oh my god, I love your look. It's like Oklahoma and New Jersey fell in love and had a baby.
Actually, I'm from Cincinnati.
No, it's not possible. Not you.
He kisses her on the cheek.
Welcome to the dollhouse, baby.
He hooks his arm through Lisa's arm and sweeps her away. Emily turns to Andy.
I have 3 more minutes to explain to you your whole entire job.
Interior, runway, day. Emily shows Andy her desk, next to hers, and the bullpen in front of Miranda's office.
You and I are responsible for the phones. One of us must always be here to answer them. She hates calls rolling to voicemail. Other than that, we have totally different jobs. I'll be in charge of her schedule, her expenses, her appointments, and most importantly, I get to go with her to Paris for Fashion Week in the fall.
Emily points to the Eiffel Tower screensaver on her.
That sounds great.
Andy looks at Emily, amazed by her intensity. Just then, Nigel comes over. He's carrying a pair of stunning black Jimmy Choo slingbacks.
I guessed 8.5.
That's right, but I don't think I'll...
Fine. Use them as paperweight.
He leaves the room and walks away.
Now, your duties. First, the food.
Interior, runway, day. Emily shows Andy how to set up for Miranda's arrival. They move between the kitchen, the outer office, and Miranda's office.
It must be Pellegrino, frigid and placed on her right in the 2 o'clock position. These are the only coasters we use. They're made of zebra wood.
Lent. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool.
Her breakfast and lunch are always the same. Scrambled eggs and bacon for breakfast. For lunch, a steak so rare it's practically talking. Once a day, we do a Starbucks run, and she gets a tall, white chocolate mocha, hotter than lava, 2 blueberry muffins, and a cranberry bliss bar.
I can't believe she eats like that. She's so thin.
I know. She has the one thing I've always wanted, a metabolism.
Emily scoops up an armful of magazines.
Last thing, the periodicals.
They walk into Miranda's office. Emily spreads out the magazines on a table.
Fanned out with exactly 3/4 of an inch between them.
They step back into the outer office. Emily looks at the clock.
And then,
The clock ticks over to 7:30.
boom.
In that instant, Miranda appears, talking on her cell phone, leaving people screaming.
I told him there's no way we're doing tartan or taffeta again.
She walks by Andy and Emily without acknowledging them or stopping her conversation. She drops her coat on Andy's desk and walks into her office.
Second assistant also does coat.
Coat.
Emily opens a closet. Andy takes the coat and hangs it up.
Coat. Got it.
And you will also eventually be responsible for the book.
The book? I'm repeating everything you say, aren't I? Wow, that's annoying.
Emily shows Andy a large wire-bound collection of pages as big as a phone book. Emily opens it and leafs through it.
The book is the Bible, the current issue in its latest form. Miranda needs to approve every single thing in the magazine, so she edits it at night. The book is the most important thing you will ever touch in your whole life, including your newborn children and eventually the face of God.
Andy looks at it. It's very impressive and cool.
Every night we deliver the book and her dry cleaning to her house.
To her house? Damn it, I did it again.
You will only get to deliver the book when Miranda trusts you and feels you're worthy. Until then, I get the lovely task of staying late while waiting for all the departments to be done.
Just then, Emily's phone rings. She picks it up.
She wants to see you.
Emily holds up the Jimmy Choos.
I'm begging you.
Thank you, but I really don't think I need those. She must be fine with how I dress. She hired me, remember?
Interior, Miranda's office, day. Andy walks in, smiling, eager. Miranda's chair faces away from her.
Good morning, Miranda. What can I do for you?
And Miranda turns. Her gaze lands on Andy's shoes. Then her eyes travel up to Andy's face, a process which seems to take forever. Then, of all the scary things she could do, Miranda does the scariest. Smiles. Interior, runway, day. Andy flies out of Miranda's office, briskly walks past Emily, takes the Jimmy Choos, puts them on, walks back into Miranda's office. Emily promptly takes a tissue from her desk, picks up Andy's shoes, and puts them in the trash. Andy walks out.
She said she needs a skirt from Ralph Lauren for the measle shoot with Naomi next week.
Did she say which skirt? Did she say what kind?
No,
Color, shape, fabric?
no, no, no.
God, I hate it when she does that.
Interior, runway, later. Emily jots some things down. Andy checks her subway map.
To get to the Ralph Lauren store, I take the six and
You're not going to the store.
of course not. I'm going to his house.
You're going to the showroom. It's across the street from Mayaki over on Madison.
Mayaki. Super. Is that a restaurant?
Emily gives her a completely disgusted look.
I'm guessing no.
You need to pick up some other things as well.
She hands Andy a list.
Great.
Andy stands up, touching her subway map.
You hear me?
And you do not take the subway on Elias Clark business. Ever.
Wait, you're kidding. I take a taxi?
You have,
Emily hands her a list.
you have exactly 45 minutes to get everything done.
Exterior, Elias Clark, day. Andy steps out, sees a black Lincoln town car, walks over to it. Can't help but smile. Interior, town car, day. Andy looks around happily, notices a little fridge, opens it.
Oh my god, Diet Coke.
The driver, Roy, meets her eye in the mirror.
I'm just, a little thirsty.
Roy looks amused. Interior, Ralph Lauren showroom, day. Andy watches as the sales rep brings out skirt after skirt.
Anyone, go for it.
You must be new. Congratulations. People would kill for your job.
I've heard that. My camera won't focus.
Of course, she can keep these as long as she needs. And here. She brings out a bag. Begins piling items into Andy's arms. For Miranda's twins, they love the rugbies. And for her husband, I threw in a couple new suits. Interior, Chanel, day. Andy enters Chanel, a towering 3-story structure on 57. The sales girl hands her a pair of teensy white tennis shorts.
Is this for one of the twins?
Custom made for Miranda. Silly.
Andy looks at the shorts. Inhumanly teensy. Interior, Hermes, day. The Hermes sales girl piles about 25 scarf boxes onto Andy's outstretched arms.
You want me to get the driver to help you?
No time. Running late.
Interior, Elias Clark lobby, day. Jocelyn, the accessories editor, waits for the elevator. Andy, winded, carrying the tower of scarf boxes, races over.
I made it back in time. You don't care, do you?
Miranda does have an eye for sharp girls.
She must really like these things.
They're her signature. The Hermes white scarf. She's never seen without them, and she goes through them like Kleenexes.
Oh. You know, if by chance you ever need any writing done, I was editor of my college newspaper.
Jocelyn looks at her.
And there's that thing where you don't care.
They hear the ding of the elevator and walk in. But suddenly, Jocelyn sees Miranda walking toward the elevator. She immediately gets out. Miranda stands by the elevator, looking at Andy. Andy stays, looking confused. Miranda waits. Finally, Jocelyn walks in and pulls Andy out. Miranda gets in the elevator, alone. After the doors close,
We can't ride up with her? Why?
Half a day on the job, and you're still asking why? That concerns me.
interior, runway, day. Andy walks in, laden with stuff. Emily springs up.
Thank God you're here. I have to pee.
You haven't peed since I left?
I told you these phones can never be unmanned. Not for a second. I'm going to lunch. We have 14 minutes each. I go first.
You
Andy watches Emily's pencil-thin hips swing up the hallway.
you eat lunch?
Interior, cafeteria, day. A pasta bar, deserted. A pizza station, not a soul. A salad bar. Girls crowd the lettuce area, though no one's within a mile of the dressing region. Andy walks over to the deserted soup station, ladles out some corn chowder into a bowl. Nigel joins her.
Hey, Cincinnati.
She smiles. He sees what she's putting on her tray.
Corn chowder. Interesting.
Andy looks at him, confused.
No, great choice. It's just that I think cellulite is actually one of the ingredients of corn chowder.
Isn't corn a vegetable?
You are a breath of fresh air.
Andy and Nigel sit and begin eating.
So none of the girls here eat anything?
Not since 2 became the new 4 and 0 became the new 2.
I'm a 6.
and this causes Nigel to salad. Just then, Andy dips a piece of bread in her chowder, eats it. Across the cafeteria, seeing this, the two fashion assistants gasp in horror, like Andy just stuck a fork in her eyeball. Andy notices a short, expensively rumpled man walks in, surrounded by a few important-looking men.
Who's that?
Irv Ravitz, who
Owns.
that's him. Tiny, but packs a punch.
Andy watches Irv as he gets a tray and goes through the line.
And he's getting corn chowder. Great minds.
Distracted, watching Irv, Andy accidentally drips on her blouse.
Oh, damn it.
On Nigel, smiling. She looks at him.
Oh, no, you don't. No.
He looks at her. What?
You want to lend me a blouse.
Got me. I'm an evil clothes lender.
I've already got the shoes. Next thing you know, it's a skirt, then boom, I'm whirling in and out of revolving doors like Pretty Women, getting totally made over.
And that's a bad thing?
Nigel, I have scruples. I'm a journalist. I won't be working in fashion forever. I don't think I have to change everything about myself just because I have this job.
Told you that.
Andy's watch beeps.
I have 45 seconds to get back to my desk.
She smiles and gets up.
Scruples and a digital watch. Oh, the horror.
Interior, Miranda's office. Day. The magazine staff is gathered in Miranda's office. Miranda flips through the racks of skirts.
Too 80s, too floppy. Not 80s enough. Too horrible to be believed.
She looks around at everyone. It is clear she's horribly disappointed.
The layout is supposed to be called the new skirt. These are the oldest, most cliched, tired skirts on Earth.
Just then, Andy walks in. Silently, she lays out Miranda's coffee order in front of her.
We need to start over. Sit down, Emily. Sorry. Sit down, Emily. I need you to take notes on all these changes. First of all...
Actually, it's Andy.
Pardon?
Andy notices she's brought the room to a screeching halt.
My name is Andy. Actually, it's Andrea, but people call me Andy.
What a fantastic story. So entertaining and full of useful information.
Everyone stares at Andy. Andy takes out a notebook.
The skirt is important. Crucial, in fact. Women need separates that can take them through all facets of their day.
She grabs a skirt off the rack. Andy watches her.
This has sequins, but it's denim. It's of no use to anyone. We need to give women clear choices about... What are you looking at?
Me? Nothing.
You think you're above this, don't you? We're talking about skirts and you're smirking.
I'm not smirking.
Inside, you're smirking.
And now the room is totally silent. Everyone there has had this happen to them one time or another, and they're just grateful this time it's not them.
No, I'm not. I'm not above anything. That's my motto, I swear.
You see that droopy sweater you're wearing? That blue was on a dress Cameron Diaz wore on the cover of Runway, Shredded Chiffon by James Holt. The same blue quickly appeared in 8 other designers' collections and eventually made its way to the secondary designers, the department store labels, and then to some lovely Gap outlet, where you no doubt found it. That color is worth millions of dollars and many jobs.
She smiles at Andy, who quakes.
Your superior attitude is not acceptable at this magazine, in this industry, or in my presence.
Interior, apartment, night. Andy is trying to come down from a day of work. She changes out of her work clothes and sweats as she rants. Nate watches her, amused.
She could be the most horrible person I've ever met, seen, or heard about. She's not happy unless everyone around her is panicked, nauseous, or suicidal.
She pulls an ancient Northwestern sweatshirt over her head.
And they all act like they're curing cancer or something. The skirt is important, crucial, in fact. Reality check, lady, the skirt is just something you wear because the jeans are in the wash.
You could just not show up tomorrow or ever.
I can't give up now, Nate. She may be heinous, but the job is a great opportunity. I swear to God, though, what I'd really like to do is go right up to her and say what I really think.
Quick cut to interior runway. Day. Miranda walks in.
Good morning, Miranda. Nice to see you.
In response, Miranda simply drops her coat in front of Andy, and then, without so much of a glance at Andy, walks into her office.
Me? I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
Interior runway. Day. Andy brings in Miranda's scrambled eggs served on china. She just looks at him.
Those are freezing.
Andy almost starts to say something like, "You didn't taste them," but reins herself in.
I'll get you new ones immediately.
She picks up the tray and carries it out, with her back to Miranda, makes a face of explosive frustration. Interior runway. Later. Day. Andy is at her desk on the phone.
I'll tell Miranda. Okie dokie.
She hangs up. Emily gives her a look of disgust.
So you're saying no on the okie dokie.
Emily hands Andy a piece of paper.
This is Miranda's itinerary for her weekend in Miami with Donatella. If she needs something, she'll call you. One of the perks of being second assistant. Make sure you leave your cell phone on 24/7. Don't mess this up.
On Andy. Apprehensive. Exterior. Village Street. Bay. We see Andy's dad, Richard, tall and distinguished. If a few pounds overweight, in a nice suit, is ringing the doorbell to Andy's apartment. Andy appears in the window.
Dad, I'll be right down.
Interior. Farewell. Day. Andy walks Richard up the stairs. He's already breathing heavy.
I don't usually come to the con law conference, but I figured what a great excuse to come see my Andy.
Interior. Andy's apartment. Night. Andy's father looks around, takes in the smallness. Kitchen tub setup, tries not to broadcast panic or despair.
There's a view.
She walks into a spot where, if you crane your head and peer over to the side, you can see a tiny sliver of some buildings. Interior. Blue ribbon. Night. Andy and her dad are eating at a restaurant on Sullivan Street.
So, tell me more about the job. Your mother and I can't wait to get your first clips.
Actually, I won't be writing for a while. It's more doing administrative stuff for Miranda. Then if that goes well, I can move up to the first assistant, and after that, Miranda might put me up for a better job.
Oh, I see. Might.
Yeah, I know, it seems like kind of a gamble, but I've met people who worked for Miranda and went on to great places, like New Yorker.
He eats his food for a beat, not saying anything.
Okay, what? Just say it.
Andy, it's just a little confusing. You were so gung-ho to move out here, and you're not even doing the thing you said you wanted to do.
I have to work my way up. I have to start somewhere. Look, I know you don't understand because this is not your world, but this job with Miranda is an amazing opportunity.
And here I thought your acceptance to Stanford Law was an amazing opportunity.
Dad,
That school is so hard to get into, and you're throwing that away.
Dad, you're a lawyer, your father was a lawyer, and your brother. We have enough lawyers in our family.
Then why did you even apply?
Because it's what you wanted me to do, and that's all I've ever done my whole life, what you thought I should do. Well, this is what I want to do, finally.
So this is your dream? Getting coffee for fashion editors?
If I was getting coffee for senior partners, would that make you feel better?
Yes, as a matter of fact. Because the law is intellectual. It's substantial. It's
Just then, the cell phone rings. Andy looks down at it.
Miranda.
Andy picks up her cell phone. Interior, Miami International Airport. Night. Miranda is surrounded by crowds heading home for the weekend.
My flight is canceled.
She
I have
starts
to get
through the airport.
I have to get home tonight. The twins have a recital at school tomorrow morning that I can't miss.
Interior, Blue Ribbon. Night. Andy tries to hear through the noise of the restaurant.
Hold on, I can't hear her. This will just take a second.
She trots outside the restaurant. Exterior, Blue Ribbon. Night. Through the window, we see Richard eat alone. Quick cuts of Andy on the cell phone.
There must be something. I've tried that airline already. Let me talk to your manager. Call me back if there's a cancellation. I'm sorry, Miranda. I'm doing the best I can. Apparently, there were a lot of big conventions in town, and of course, I'll keep trying.
Exterior, street, night. Andy and Richard are standing outside the Minkoff Tower, or Minkoff Theater, where Fiddler on the Roof is playing. The crowds stream in. Andy is still on the phone. Richard waits, tickets in hand.
Sir, it's very important that she gets a seat on that flight. Hold on. Miranda, it's just that all the character companies are closed, or all the charter companies are closed, and hold on. I'll call you back. Please talk to your supervisor again. Miranda? Hello. Damn it.
She starts frantically.
Andy, stop this. It's Sunday night, for Christ's sake. Enough is enough. The show is starting. Let's go.
He tries to walk her into the theater.
Dad, I can't.
Yes, you can. You did the best you could. You couldn't get her what she wanted. What she wants is impossible.
She looks at him.
Let's just go in, okay? I haven't seen you in so long.
Andy hesitates.
Okay, fine.
Reluctantly, she puts her phone in her purse, and as she walks in the theater with her dad.
And anyway, Andy, really, it's not your fault. How angry could this woman be?
Interior, Miranda's office. Day. To the brightness of Miranda's office. Miranda stands by the window. Andy stands there, cowed.
The girls' recital was great. They played Rachmaninoff and everyone loved it. Except for me. Because I was not there.
I'm so sorry, Miranda. You have no idea.
Miranda turns away from the window to look at Andy.
Do you know why I hired you? I always hire the same girl, stylish, worships the magazine, and they turn out to be disappointing and stupid. But you, with your great...
She smiles. That smile pierces Andy to the core.
But you, with your great resume, I thought you would be different. I thought, go ahead, hire the smart fat girl. I thought I was being clever. But it turns out you are just as disappointing as those other girls. And the only person I have to blame for your ineptitude is myself, for hiring you.
Andy is frozen where she stands.
You stranded me in the middle of nowhere when my children needed me.
Is there any way I could make it up to you?
That's all.
And she goes back to her work. Andy stands there for a second, then leaves, and we see her eyes start to well. Interior, runway, day. Andy runs down the hall, fighting back tears. She crosses paths with Nigel, who sees the expression on her face and pulls her into his office. Interior, Nigel's office, day. Nigel closes the door. She looks at him, lips trembling.
Let me guess. You were trying not to cry the whole time you were with her?
And she promptly bursts into tears. He puts his arm around her.
Wow. So been there.
No matter what I do, I can't please her. I've always done well at anything I applied myself to, but this is so hard. She's just so scary and horrible and frightening and scary.
She sniffles, blows her nose. He looks at her.
Are you done?
What?
You want me to say, oh, poor you, Miranda is picking on you? Get real, Cincinnati. Miranda Priestley is impossible. Always has been, always will be. Your job is not about pleasing her. It's about surviving her. Andy, I've seen a lot of assistants come and go. And you've got talent. You're bright and hardworking, but you're not committed to this job. I bet you don't even read the magazine. Andy, if you want this, start giving this your all. Be who Miranda needs you to be. Or else, quit.
Nigel, I don't.
Then, what do you say? Are you in or are you out?
I'm in. I'll do what it takes, I swear.
Well, if that's the case,
Oh no.
Andy,
Isn't there another way?
go ahead. Say it. Say the words.
I can't. Please, have mercy.
Say it. Say those 3 little words I've been dying to hear since I met you.
Okay, fine. Make me over.
Interior, closet, day. With a grand gesture, Nigel swings open the door to a large room that's like a treasure cave, piled high with shoes, bags, clothes, furs, jewelry.
The best fashion has to offer, and we get the first look at everything.
Andy gapes, looks around the closet.
How are we going to do this? I only have 11 minutes left on my lunch.
Don't worry. My record is 4 minutes head to toe.
She's a beautiful, expensive beaded gown in the corner.
Look at that.
She walks over to it, amazed.
Oh, excuse me. That's a James Holt. James Holt. Even I've heard of him.
He's a genius. Owes everything to Miranda. That's Emily's dress for the benefit at the museum in September.
Do I get to go to the benefits?
First, you don't want shoes. Now you want a ball gown? Only the first assistant goes to the benefit. Okay, here we go. Christian Dior fitted blazer, skirt by Tracy Reese, a little denim mini from Chip and Pepper, Clement Ribeiro cardigan.
Interior, runway, day. Andy, carrying her armful of clothing, is rushed down the hallway into interior, beauty department, later. Andy is seated in front of a mirror, her hair and makeup being fussed over by so many people we can't even see her. Interior, runway, day. Emily is on the phone. I have no...
I have no idea why Miranda hired her. I knew from the moment I saw her that she was a complete and utter...
And suddenly, Andy appears in her gorgeous clothes. Her makeup impeccable, hair soft, loose, pretty. She looks grown up, sexy, and above all, sophisticated.
disaster.
Just then, Miranda's voice sails out.
Andrea!
Andy smiles at Emily and walks into Miranda's office. Interior, Miranda's office. Miranda has her back turned, looking at some photos on a light box in her office.
I need these 3 blown up and printed on too.
And just then, she glances over at Andy, the transformed Andy. And she gives Andy an almost imperceptible nod of approval. Then, she quickly goes back to what she was doing, her back turned to Andy.
And tell him it's too saturated with yellow. We need to bring up the pinks.
And behind her, Andy smiles. Interior, cafeteria, day. Andy strides in, heads turn. Is that the same girl? Andy walks confidently under their stairs and heads over to the soup station, where she proudly ladles out some corn chowder and puts it on her tray. Interior, runway. Dead. Andy picks up the phone.
Miranda Priestley's office.
We pull out to see that while rolling calls, Andy is also filing things, doing a spreadsheet, and unwrapping presents. She covers the receiver, holds up a box to show Emily.
Charlie Rose gave Miranda a phone for her birthday.
She holds up an expensive, fancy bag and all of the phone.
Get rid of it before she sees it.
How do I do that?
Interior, McSorley's, night. Andy joins her friends and Nate. Andy plops the phone on the table, but everyone barely looks at the phone. They're all preoccupied by her appearance.
Wow.
I know, awesome phone, right? Bang & Olufsen. Emily said I could keep it.
She keeps nattering happily.
Hillary Clinton sent a birthday present, and Nelson Mandela, and Lil Kim.
And as they continue to stare,
I can't believe this is you. The girl who wore the same sweater for 3 years in college.
Lily looks at Andy's jacket.
Is that Chanel?
Don't be silly. It's Balenciaga. Anyway, it's just a few clothes for work, so I don't stand out.
Wait, so all the girls there look like that?
No, they're prettier and thinner.
Dang, I love your job.
She reaches into her bag.
I have one.
She hands out perfume, cosmetics, belts. Doug picks up one of the perfume bottles and is about to spray it on his hand when Andy stops him.
It's called Pink for women.
And can be pink. I have a pink side.
Please, we're eating.
You know who's coming into the office Friday? John Updike.
Why does he need pants?
No, smartass. The magazine publishes some great writers.
Oh yeah, their article on denim miniskirts changed my life.
Just because it's a fashion magazine doesn't mean it can't be credible. Miranda has covered some real stories: AIDS in Africa, domestic violence, teenage drug abuse.
I think you're really starting to drink the Kool-Aid.
Just then, Andy's cell phone rings. Nate grabs it.
Let me guess.
Give me the phone.
He checks. The name on the phone, Miranda.
It's the dragon lady herself.
Give me the phone.
Andy grabs for the phone. Nate tosses it to Doug.
I'll to get her own scrambled eggs.
Andy practically tackles him, grabs the phone away.
Come on, guys. Give me the fucking phone.
They're all stunned by her vehemence, including Andy.
Hello, Miranda?
Interior, town car, night. Miranda is being driven home.
I need a messenger to pick up some sketches from James Holt.
Interior, restaurant, night. Andy on the phone.
I will take care of it myself. Don't worry about it. I'm leaving right now. You guys didn't need to be such assholes.
And she exits, and all of her friends exchange a look. Exterior, Elias Clark, night. Andy runs into Elias Clark. Exterior, Tribeca Street, night. Andy pulls up in front of the loft building in Tribeca in the town car. Interior, loft, night. Andy rings the buzzer. No answer, but she can hear voices behind the door. She pushes it, and it opens. Inside, she sees an industrial-style loft with a party going on. Andy looks around. It's one of those New York parties you think you'll never be invited to. And there she is. She walks over to one of the super hot women adorning the party.
Where's James Holt?
She points to a handsome man by the window. James Holt, one of the top designers. 40s, muscular, tan, dressed impeccably. Andy walks over to him.
Sorry, got the script back up. Hi, I'm Andy. I'm picking up some sketches from Miranda Priestley.
You must be the new Emily. Let me see.
He checks her out.
Shrunken blazer with a long sleeve chiffon blouse. That outfit has Nigel Kipling written all over it.
He hands her a folio with angle.
You work for Miranda. You must be in desperate need of hard liquor.
No,
I insist. Come on.
He walks her to the
Don't get me wrong, I worship Miranda. She practically invented me. She'll have the punch. It's deadly. Have fun.
and he walks away. Andy clutches the glass of punch.
He's right. I had to punch at James' last party. Woke up in Hoboken with my pants wrapped around a telephone pole.
She looks over. He's a great-looking, sophisticated man in his 30s who has an air of mischief. His name is Christian Harper.
I don't want to be rude to him, but I want to go.
No, you don't. You're looking around. You're intrigued, even titillated.
God, I love it when total strangers tell me how I feel.
Christian Harper. Sorry for being so editorial. Much.
Christian Harper? The writer? You write for every magazine I love. Your New Yorker piece on Al Sharpton, Al Sharpton, that won the National Magazine Award, I actually wrote a paper on it my senior year.
Did it mention my good looks and killer charm?
No, but it did mention a few factual errors in your unfortunate insistence on using second-person plural.
And what do you do?
I work for Miranda Priestley.
You're never gonna make it.
Excuse me?
You're smart, you're nice, you have a nice point of view. You can't do that job.
You know nothing about me. You have no idea what I do.
Andy hands him her glass of punch.
If you'll excuse me, I have to go.
She starts to leave.
Let me guess. You have a boyfriend waiting? From? Not high school. College? Moderately handsome guy? Devoted? About to ask you to move in with him? But you're not sure.
She stares at him, appalled and, intrigued.
You are not a nice person.
Nice to meet you, Miranda girl.
He walks away. Steam practically pours out of her ears.
Your information. He's really handsome.
This doesn't cause him to turn around, though it does cause a few other people to stare. Andy walks away, embarrassed. Exterior, apartment, night. Andy's walking back towards Nate's apartment, holding the podium. She crosses paths with Nate.
So you got the nuclear briefcase from the undisclosed location. I'm proud of you.
Where are you going?
Doug and some of his Yahoo friends are playing Texas Hold'em at his apartment. I'm gonna go get me some of that Wall Street money.
Come back so we can hang out.
Man, I'm sorry. You didn't make that crystal clear when you stormed off after calling me an asshole.
Okay, look, I'm sorry about that.
I'll see you later, okay?
Nate, hold on a second.
Hello? Sure, Doug. I'll get on that ASAP. A six-pack? No problem. That's your German.
Very funny.
And what temperature would you like it to be exactly?
He waves to Andy and walks away. Interior, apartment, early morning. Pitch black outside, Nate is fast asleep. but Andy is already awake, getting ready, and it's a more complicated process now, selecting just the right outfit, applying makeup. Interior, office, later, day. We see Miranda. She's studying a pile of sketches from the folio the night before. Interior, runway, day. Andy is putting away dishes in the kitchen when Miranda appears.
Where's Emily?
Miranda?
Did you go, Rain? Because it didn't pick up here at all. Can you say your line again? I'm gonna quit. Okay. Where's Emily?
She went down to production. But anything you need, Miranda, I'm on it.
You're not going to sing, are you?
Andy shakes her head. No. And Miranda sighs. I guess not. She hands Andy a piece of paper.
I need you to pull these back issues.
Interior, town car, day. Miranda and Andy ride along in heavy traffic. Miranda is tapping her foot, impatient. Finally, she leans forward to Roy, the driver.
Just let us out of here.
She gets out. Andy scrambles to grab her stuff and follow. Exterior, downtown street, day. Miranda sails down the street. Miranda walks fast, waving in and out of pedestrian traffic like a sports car on the autobahn. Andy, in her heels, carrying a stack of heavy magazines, races after her. Not easy. Suddenly, Miranda disappears from Andy's line of vision. She finally sees Miranda crossing the street. Andy tries to follow, stepping into the street without looking both ways as a car misses her by the The driver leans out and unleashes a string of jersey-inflected swear words. No time for Andy to recover. She takes off after Miranda. Exterior, Tribeca Street. Exterior, Tribeca Street. Day. Andy realizes they're on James Holt Street. She catches up with Miranda as she enters the building. Interior, loft. Day. Miranda wrangles the heavy door to the loft elevator like a long horseman. Andy hesitates, unsure if she's permitted.
You cut out at the last part. Can you say that part again? Max.
Am I back? Interior.
Yeah.
Elevator. Day. Beat. Miranda and Andy ride up together.
Interesting building. Last time I was here, Jane was having this party, and this is why you don't like to ride up in the elevator with people.
Miranda smiles a tight little smile. Precisely. Interior. Loft. Day. Miranda sweeps in. Her entrance is a surprise. James Holt runs over to greet Miranda. His assistants stop what they're doing and try not to openly stare. Miranda and James embrace.
An impromptu visit. You are full of surprises.
Miranda places an envelope onto his desk.
The sketches you sent me. For fall.
Miranda walks around, looking at the pieces on the mannequin. A hodgepodge of unfinished items.
I was trying to capture the intersection of East meets West, the modern woman as geisha meets rock star with little desperate housewives thrown in.
Miranda stops in front of a red dress with too many flounces and flourishes, and eyes it critically.
But obviously the collection is still a work in progress.
Actually, no, it isn't, my love.
He looks at her. I beg your pardon?
You are not going to produce this line. If you do, I will not put any of it in the magazine, nor will you get any department store orders.
Miranda, I know the collection is edgy.
I'm looking through the pieces, thinking kimonos, motorcycle jackets, gingham. Most of it I don't get at all. What I do get, I don't like. I cannot let you do this to yourself, or to me. My reputation is on the line here, too.
Andy watches James. The whole room is pin drop silent.
I gave you editorial coverage before anyone else. I made people take notice of you. I was the only editor in the front row of your first show in that warehouse at the pier. In the front row. Clapping.
Miranda steps closer to James and puts a hand on his shoulder.
I remember every piece of that first collection. The swing of the chiffon, the vibrance of the embroidery.
She walks over to Andy and takes the pile of magazines, throws each on the table in front of James as she talks.
September 1997, you revolutionized the hemline. March 1998, you bring back femininity out of that horrible monk phase. June 2000, you're the first one to do the watercolor florals, and February 2002, you radically rethink the empire waist.
She leans into him.
You don't just dress a woman, you embrace her. Give her the love she might never get from a real man.
And now the room is dead silent, everyone rapt. And Miranda is no longer remote. She's talking about something she loves, and it's written all over her. We see Andy watching this change in her.
You make a woman feel powerful, special, beautiful, even if she is none of those things. Her first day on the job, her wedding, her first date, you were there for all the important moments of a woman's life. That is what you were put on the planet to do. This, on the other hand, is just plain bad. Burn it. Think of something else. I know it will be divine.
And with that, she gives him another kiss and sweeps over to the elevator. Andy scoops up the runways and follows.
Miranda, thank you.
She nods, has no vanity at all about what she said, exits. And as Miranda goes, one of Holt's assistants bursts into applause. A few others join. James glares. They stop. Interior, Nate's apartment, night. Nate cooks for Andy. He's a chef, and he makes a regular old grilled cheese look absurdly enticing.
Oh, go.
She digs in, starving.
Leave! Here I go! This is... I think it sounds shitty. No, I'll call you later.
And he makes a regular old grilled cheese look absurdly enticing. She digs in, starving.
I think it sounds shitty.
It was kind of harsh, but she was being honest, and she really inspires him. Look, she is tough, but she gets results. She was the best book in the business.
Oh, really? The best book in the business? Well, that's justifies being a flaming bitch.
I'm just saying, she's just as tough on herself when I get into work at 7:30. There's already a bunch of emails from her starting at 5 a.m., and the book is back in the office with her notes. I've never seen anyone so dedicated.
You know, I think you're developing a nasty case of Stockholm Syndrome, where people identify with their captors. It's like you want to be her now.
Would that be so bad?
He looks at her. Are you serious?
I mean, she can't eat as many grilled cheeses as she wants and not gain a pound. Nate, come on. It's me, same old me, with better outfits.
I liked your old outfits fine.
So you don't like my new clothes? Really? What about this?
Those were Rain's last words.
This is new.
She gestures to her shirt, starts unbuttoning buttons, revealing a bra that costs more than her entire previous wardrobe.
Okay, that.
She laughs, then he kisses her, picks her up, and carries her away from the table. And just then, Andy's cell phone rings, and they look at each other and both know she's going to get it. Interior, runaway, day. Emily's at her desk in the morning. Andy walks in, and Emily immediately pulls her aside.
Oh, good, you're here. I need to talk to you.
Oh my god, what's wrong? I know. I didn't get the cranberry bliss bar yesterday, but they were all out.
And that's not it?
Is she mad about the thing with the Lagerfield? I swear, I had no idea he was allergic to camellias.
Andy, stop.
If it's about the time I referred to Pranza Schuler as she, I get it now. They were our two men.
Andy.
Andy
Miranda
stares.
told me you
What?
could start doing the book.
You're kidding me. Wow, that means I must have done something right. How about that?
She smiles, very pleased.
Yeah, whoopee. Okay, now, it's very important that you do exactly what I'm about to tell you.
Flash forward to interior, runway, night. We hear Emily's voiceover as we see this happening.
You wait at the office until all the department heads have submitted their pages and the book is assembled.
We see Andy waiting. The area around Miranda's office is totally quiet. Andy drifts in and looks at Miranda's office. The pictures of her with everyone from Desmond Tutu to Paris Hilton. Then, Andy walks over to Miranda's pristine white couch, sits on it. Well, why not? Lies down on it, gingerly. Then... Book's ready. Jumps off the couch like she's been caught naked. Interior, runway, night. An editorial assistant brings Andy the book. It's heavy.
Then you take Miranda's dry cleaning from the closet.
We see Andy do this. About a dozen garments on hangers. Exterior, Elias Clark, night. Andy walks out, trying to juggle the book and the dry cleaning.
A car will be waiting for you.
Roy opens the door for Andy. Interior, town car, night. Andy whisks across town. It's late. The streets are quiet. Exterior, Central Park West, night. Andy swings down the street, feeling pretty confident.
When you get to the apartment, the doorman will have your name and he'll let you up.
Interior, Miranda's lobby, night. The Beresford, a white-gloved co-op building on 81st and Central Park West. The doorman directs Andy into the elevator.
All you have to do is open the door, step into the foyer, hang the clothes on the hook, and leave the book on the table.
Interior, elevator, night. The elevator man lets Andy aboard, presses the button for the penthouse.
The important thing is, just do those two things and leave. Don't talk to anyone, don't look at anyone. Miranda does not want you to disturb her evening in any way.
Flash back to interior, runaway, day. Andy looks at Emily.
You sure you got all that?
Of course. Book, dry cleaning, hook, monkey. Could do that.
Flash forward again to interior, elevator, night. Andy waits. The book and the dry cleaning are heavy. She tries to wait. Interior, hallway, night. Andy steps into the hallway, dimly lit, with high ceilings and huge moldings. Miranda's door is at the end of the hall, and for some reason, Andy finds her heart is racing. She opens the door. Interior, Miranda's foyer, night. In contrast to the blinding brightness of Miranda's office, her apartment is dark, shadowy. The ceilings are ridiculously tall. Andy steps inside, her footsteps echoing through the foyer. She looks up, sees a hook, and is about to hang it when she sees another hook? Or is that a skull? She stands up. Wait, no. That's the hook. No, is that a gargoyle? The one that looks the most like a hook. Hangs the dry cleaning. So far, no disasters. She lets out a breath of relief.
Book on the table.
And, you guessed it, there are two tables. Suddenly, she hears a noise. It's It's a girl of about 8 walking into the foyer. One of Miranda's daughters, Casey, carrying a violin and a bow. Andy freezes. At first, Cassidy's face is blank, but then Andy smiles. So Cassidy,
Hi.
Hi.
and Cassidy points to one of the tables, using her bow.
Oh my god, thank you.
Cassidy smiles. The briefest moment between them, and suddenly they hear voices. Miranda and her husband Stefan are in the living room, a sliver of which is visible from the foyer. Their voices are low, but we can hear.
What did you want me to do? Walk out in the middle of a photo shoot?
We sat there for almost an hour.
We were in a lot near the seaport. My phone didn't work, I told you.
And I knew what everyone in the restaurant was thinking. There he is, waiting for her again.
And as he says this, he stops, curious. There in the hall is Andy, frozen, with Cassidy smiling at her. And before Andy can stop herself, her eyes float over to Stefan's. Eye contact. Her heart does a flip, and her eyes dart over to Miranda, and they make eye contact as well. And Miranda gives Andy a look of utter coldness, disgust, and judgment, harsher than any Andy has gotten in the office. Interior, elevator, night. Andy gets in, heart pounding. Interior, Nate's apartment, night. Andy crawls into bed next to Nate. He takes her arm and wraps it around himself.
You're shaking.
I'm okay.
But she's unable to relax, or even close her eyes. Interior, runway, day. Andy walks in, already bracing herself, and runs into Emily emerging from Miranda's office, very upset.
Okay, before you start freaking out, it wasn't such a big deal. Cassidy said hello, I said hello back, then I glanced into the living room.
You glanced? Why were you glancing? Who said anything about glancing?
You're right. I made a mistake. I don't know what I was thinking. It was so stupid.
You can't do things like this to me. If she fires you, it'll jeopardize Parrish for me.
She's going to fire me?
I don't know. She's not happy.
And they hear Miranda's voice ringing out from the office.
Andrea!
Andy and Emily exchange a look. Oh boy. Interior, Miranda's office, day. Andy walks in, apprehensive.
I'm really, really sorry, Miranda. I was nervous and
I need the new Harry Potter book for the twins.
Great. I'll run down to the bookstore and
Did you fall and smack your head on the pavement?
not that I can recall.
We have all the books. The girls want to know what happens next. I heard the manuscript just came in, and the girls need something to read on the train to their grandmothers.
Fine, no problem.
Oh, and one more thing. There will be no more second chances.
Interior, runway, later. Andy paces, panicky.
I see. So the publisher is in London. Can you give me that number? It's for Miranda Priestley. What is it for? We're doing a layout. Oh, sorcery-inspired fashion? Yes, I understand. Thank you. There's no way. Evil cat with a tiny little unfashionable mouse.
Oh, look, you're getting paranoid. Yay. It's not just me.
Just then they hear.
Andrea!
Interior, Miranda's office, day. Andy walks in.
I'd like my steak.
Smith and Walensky doesn't open until 11:45.
Maybe we should call Cassidy and ask her to take care of it since she did your job for you last night.
She smiles. That scary smile. Exterior, Smith and Walensky's, day. Andy flies into the frame and raps on the door of the closed restaurant. Marty, the manager, walks over, recognizes her. He unlocks the door, letting her in. Interior, Smith and Walensky's, day. From the bar, Andy watches the steak sizzle, pacing nervously. Andy's cell phone rings. She grabs it.
Anything? Can you try again? I would really appreciate any leads at all. Thanks.
She hangs up. Marty looks at her.
Mute. You're muted. There you go.
What an amazing job working for someone like Miss Priestley.
It is amazing. Lots of fun and filled with interesting challenges.
And out the window, something catches Andy's eye. We see what Andy's looking at. The newsstand right outside the restaurant. The current issue of the New Yorker is featured out front, and Andy sees the byline, Christian Harper. Interior, Christian's apartment, day. A very chic, very masculine apartment in the village. Christian is writing at a laptop when his phone rings. We intercut between him and Andy on the street.
You're kidding, right? No one can get that book. They guard that thing like Fort Knox.
I thought you knew everyone. Can't you think of something?
It's impossible. Just tell her it can't be done, Miranda girl.
Have you met Miranda?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thanks anyway.
Interior, runway, day. Andy runs down the hall with Miranda's food. She passes Emily.
I'm back. Am I fired?
You know, I rarely say this to people who aren't me, but you need to calm down.
Andy ignores her, racing around getting the dishes and silverware from Miranda's steak. Interior, Miranda's office, day. We see the steak, prettily arranged on Miranda's china. Andy sets up the salt and pepper. Miranda walks in. When Miranda sees the steak, she freezes.
What is that doing here? I ordered this hours ago.
Andy looks confused. Hours?
Luckily, before I starve to death, Irv invited me to lunch. I will be back at exactly 2:15. I want my order from Starbucks to be here.
She gestures to the steak.
Get rid of that.
And before she exits,
If you don't have the Harry Potter by then, don't bother coming back.
interior, kitchen, day. Andy carries a tray with all the food on it into the kitchen. A beat. She looks down at the tray and suppresses an urge to throw the whole thing at the wall. She positions the tray over the garbage and tilts it, letting everything, steak, china, silverware, fall into the can. Interior, Starbucks, day. Andy is on the cell phone. She watches Miranda's coffee drink being made.
Come on, please, you must know someone. Can you make it extra hot? Like center of the sun hot?
The barista gives her a look.
Sorry, my boss is particular. Are you sure you're my last shot? All right, well, thanks for trying.
She hangs up. The barista hands her the coffee.
Sounds like you got a great job there.
Actually, it is. It's a fantastic job. A million girls would kill for it.
And she starts to laugh. The girl stares at her. Exterior, Starbucks, day. Andy walks out of the Starbucks with an order on the tray. Andy stands there a moment. People bustle around her as she finds herself at a literal crossroads. She looks up at the building. Suddenly, she stops a passerby who looks at her, curious. Yeah, lady?
Want a mocha?
And Andy starts passing out the stuff from Starbucks to people on the street. Interior, kitchen, day. Nate on the phone. Intercut with him and Andy on the street.
Are you sure?
I failed. She's going to fire me anyway. Might as well beat her to the punch.
Holy shit. Well, good for you. Congratulations. You're free.
Andy smiles, hangs up. Immediately, her phone rings again. She looks down, assuming it's Nate.
Hello?
I'm brilliant. Really. This monument should be erected in my honor.
We intercut between Andy on the street and Christian in his office.
You didn't.
Oh, yes.
No, that would mean I actually did something right?
A friend of a friend is doing the cover art, and you can meet her at the office this afternoon and make a copy.
Andy just stands there, stunned.
Hello? Andy? What's wrong?
The thing is, see, I was about to.
Ugh. Don't tell me you don't want the book now. I had to make love to the woman that the size of the file cabinet to get.
Is that line in the movie?
No.
I watched it like last night.
What?
No.
I love the thing. And we see Andy. She looks up at the Elias Clark building, teetering on a precipice.
Do you want this or not?
On Andy, breathless. Exterior, street, day. Andy runs down the street. Exterior, street, day. Andy runs out of an apartment building holding a large envelope. Exterior, street, day. Andy stands outside of Kinko's. She's on the phone.
Oh, my Nana's is calling me. Okay, we're good.
Put her on the speaker.
I'm begging you. You have to stall her. Just 10 minutes.
Interior, town car, day. We see Roy driving Miranda and Herb back from lunch. He hangs up the cell phone, then he turns down a side street. Miranda catches his eye in the mirror. What the hell?
Did I cast anyone for Roy? Max
Too
Mulgard.
much traffic.
Okay, no, never mind. It's Ethan.
Putin's
Cool.
in town.
Miranda makes an annoyed face. Insert. A tray with Miranda's Starbucks on it. We follow it down the hall and see it being set on Miranda's desk. And beside it lands, boom, an envelope. Widen out to see. Miranda looking at the envelope. And then we see Andy. She stands there, quiet, calm. And if Miranda is amazed by what Andy did, she doesn't show it. She opens the envelope, looks in.
One copy? What are my twins supposed to do with that? Share?
Actually, I made 2 copies and had them color copied, reset, and bound so they wouldn't look like manuscripts.
She smiles. Miranda nods, but still won't concede the point.
And where exactly are those fabulous copies? I don't see them anywhere.
Quick cut to interior, train, day, the Metro North from New York City to Bedford. In the front row, we see 2 matching pairs of Tretorns, 7 jeans, pink Izods, and Hello Kitty barrettes, and 2 matching Harry Potter manuscripts, every bit as professional looking as Andy described them, being eagerly delivered by Cassidy and Carolyn on their way to their grandmothers. A nanny sits beside them. Cut back to interior, office, day. Andy picks up the envelope.
This is an extra copy to keep on file, just in case.
She smiles. Her faith in herself is restored.
Anything else I can do for you?
Interior. 50 Carmine, night. For the first time, Andy is early to meet Nate, sitting in the corner of an Italian restaurant when he enters.
Hey, you look pretty relaxed after the day that you just had.
Nate, I have news.
You do? So do I. I sent a bunch of letters to restaurants in San Fran, all my favorites. Figuring, what the hell? I got nothing to lose, and look. I have an interview at Chez Panisse. Can you believe it?
Oh my god, that's amazing.
The timing is perfect. You just quit your job so we can go out together. If you like California. Andy, there's a lot of great jobs that don't involve working for psychopaths.
He looks at her.
What's your news?
On her smile, trying to figure out how to break this to him. Interior, runway, day. Andy picks up the phone.
Miranda Priestley's office.
She's multitasking as she did before, answering the phone, stuffing envelopes, sorting an ancestry pile, but we can see she's starting to get it down.
My Nana texted me. Sorry. Oh, hi.
We see Lily at work in a small office at the Back Gallery in Chelsea.
The reservations are under Barnes.
Got it.
I've been working so hard and he's not that psyched about it, so I just want to make sure his birthday is fun.
Interior, runway, day. Andy on the phone. The phone rings.
Bye, Lily. Thanks. Miranda Priestley's office.
Andy's interrupted by the loud sound of someone having a coughing fit.
I'll tell you called. Thanks.
Andy looks over to where Emily is sitting at her desk, blowing her nose. Emily checks her face in her pocket mirror. Horrible.
Are you okay?
I don't have time to not be okay. I'm going to the benefit tonight, if I live that long.
Just then, they hear Miranda's voice.
Andrea! Emily!
Interior, Miranda's office, day. Andy and Emily walk in together.
I just want to make sure, before the benefit, that you are both fully prepped on the guest list.
Andy and Emily exchange a look.
Actually, I wasn't planning on going to the benefit. I thought only the first assistant went.
Only when the first assistant isn't revoltingly ill. You'll come and help Emily.
On Emily and Andy's surprise faces. Interior, runway, day. Emily dumps something on Andy's lap, a book of what looks like mugshots. Emily starts flipping through, pointing out people. It is clear Emily is a little miffed.
I don't see why she needs both of us.
She promptly dissolves into a coughing fit for about 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
Don't look at me. It's Nate's birthday tonight. This is the last thing I want to do.
That's the president of the Met.
I need to learn all of these people by tonight.
Don't be silly.
She pulls out another big book of headshots.
You have to learn these too.
Just then, Nigel bursts in.
What are you doing in here?
Andy looks up at him.
Good God, we don't have a moment to lose.
Exterior, street, day. Nigel trots down the street with Andy in tow.
Black tie, the highest level possible in grooming and fashion. Few, if any, can pull it off. Hair and makeup will meet us there, and Harry Winston is sending over a few baubles to choose from.
Interior, showroom/studio, day. We're in Oscar de la Renta's capacious showroom studio. A logo that reads Oscar de la Renta is overhead. Sales rep brings out dress after dress on a rack. We see Andy, overwhelmed. Suddenly, Oscar himself appears. He and Nigel exchange air kisses.
Nigel, what can I do for you?
We have an emergency red carpet situation.
He gestures to Andy.
Thing is, she's a 6.
We see the stunned looks on everyone's faces as he said she had an extra arm.
I'll see what I can do.
Interior, studio, later. We see Andy from behind as the makeup artist applies the finishing touches. Nigel selects a necklace from an assortment of necklaces. He drapes it around Andy's neck. Nigel studies his creation. Proud, he sighs.
How do you feel?
Well, let's see.
Exterior, street, night. We see a limousine gliding through the streets.
My feet are killing me. Everything pinches.
Exterior, Metropolitan Museum of Art, night. The Met, all lit and abuzz for a gala charity benefit. A banner across the front of the museum reads, Runaway presents Le Institute in black and white. A red carpet crammed with celebrities and photographers leads into the museum. Voiceover.
My breasts are squeezed into a ball, and this hairpiece is like having a boulder pinned to my head.
And suddenly, the door opens, and Andy steps out onto the red carpet. She looks unbelievable, gorgeous, perfect. Voiceover.
Never felt better.
She takes a moment, then ducks around the red carpet, crossing up the stairs against the line of photographers. Just then, Emily spots her.
Oh my god, Andy. You look chic.
But Andy is busy staring at Emily in her strapless dress.
You look so thin.
It's for Paris. I'm on a new diet. I don't eat anything, and then when I feel like I'm about to faint, I eat a cube of cheese.
It's definitely working.
I know, I'm just one stomach flew away from my goal.
That's great. Congrats.
Emily smiles proudly, then dissolves into another round of bone-rattling.
Ready?
Interior, Metropolitan Museum of Art, night. Andy and Emily enter. The scene takes Andy's breath away. The lobby is packed with New York's elite. Everything in sight is white. White tulips, bone white china, white candles, white tablecloths, and chair covered in white silk. All the guests are in black or white. Emily looks around.
Everything has to go perfectly tonight, or she'll have my head. You have no idea how many assistants she's fired right before they were supposed to go to Paris. That can't happen to me.
I'll just make sure everything goes smoothly then.
We need to make sure. We need to make sure we're there the second she walks in.
How will we find her?
Just then, an audible murmur makes its way through the crowd. They, along with the throw their heads in time to see a woman making an entrance into the party wearing a spectacular red dress. It's Miranda, of course, a ruby in a sea of monochrome.
The crimson James Holt. She's a genius.
It's the awkward red dress James had in his studio, made over to perfection. Emily and Andy rush over to Miranda, quick cups at the ball. Andy and Emily stand at Miranda's side as she fields greetings. A distinguished couple approaches.
Emily?
Emily racks her brain, which goes blank. She starts to panic.
Wait.
Seeing Emily struggle, Andy leans into Miranda.
Ambassador Franklin? And that's the woman he left his wife for? Rebecca, the woman he's leaving her for, is walking down the stairs in Valentino.
Miranda.
Ambassador. Sorry. I'm a professional. Ambassador, Rebecca, lovely to see you.
Emily gets Andy's attention now. Thank you. Just then, Andy sees a very fashionable woman with a more avant-garde look than Miranda headed for them, and she's being escorted by none other than Emily whispers to Andy.
That's Jacqueline Follet.
From French Runway? I thought Miranda wanted her to come after she left.
She did. Jacqueline puts her in the worst mood.
Jacqueline and Irv head straight for Miranda.
Good to see you, Irv.
Miranda, you look amazing.
Then Miranda turns to Jacqueline. They kiss the air behind each other's ears, pretending to be happy to see each other.
Bonsoir, chérie. Ta robe est rudement chouette.
I like your dress too. Very American, sportive.
Miranda smiles, but looks like she'd rather throw darts at Jacqueline. Andy quickly steps forward.
Alors, Jacqueline, dites-moi, avez-vous rencontré Brad Pitt?
Ah, no.
Vanessa avec moi. Pardonnez-nous.
She pulls Jacqueline across the room. Later, Andy and Emily are with Miranda, who's talking to Elton John.
Naturally.
Suddenly, they're surprised by the appearance of Miranda's husband, Stefan, quite drunk.
Darling, there you are.
It's a banner evening. 3 people have failed to recognize me. 1 person called me Mr. Priestley, and now the stupid bartender refuses to serve me.
Everyone freezes. Miranda forces a laugh. Emily, amidst a compliment.
I'm sorry.
But Andy quickly turns to Elton, distracting him.
I'm sorry to be such an idiot, but I think you are so awesome. I could sing along to like 50 of your songs. I think Crocodile Rock is my favorite, but I also love Tiny Dancer.
And while she chats with him, Miranda puts her arm around her husband and leads him gently away.
Come on, darling. Let's get something to eat. I'm starved, aren't you?
And as she walks away, Miranda turns and looks at Andy, and Miranda mouths the words, "Thank you." Andy and Emily's eyes both go wide. Holy shit. Exterior, museum, night. Andy trots down the steps, exhilarated. Checks her watch, looks up, and sees Christian walking up the steps looking better than anyone ever should in a tuxedo. He smiles and clutches his heart like he's been shot by Cupid.
You look amazing. I'll take it you still work for Miranda.
I am, thanks to you. And I'm doing great now.
Oh, is that right?
Sure is. Guess I'm not as nice as you thought.
God, I hope not.
He openly admires her in a way that makes it clear he's imagining her with the dress off.
If you didn't have that stupid boyfriend, I'd have to whisk you away right here, right now.
You really say things like that to your
Yeah.
sister?
Evidently.
I have to go.
Say hello to the boyfriend for me.
She tries to fight back an incriminating smile, turns and races toward her limo. Interior, town car, night. Andy is putting the finishing touches on wrapping a present. Then she starts ripping off her clothes, shoes, stockings. She grabs a pair of jeans and a t-shirt and boots out of a bag and starts to change. Interior, restaurant, night. Nate, Doug, and Lily are hanging out with Nate's friend when Andy walks in. She runs over, hugs Nate, and sits down.
I'm so sorry, Emily. One moment Miranda just announces I have to go to the benefit. Next thing you know, I'm in crazy getup directing Isaac Mizrahi to the raw bar.
They're kind of staring, so he tries to wind it down.
But the weirdest thing was that Miranda actually acted like a halfway normal human being,
And she can tell she's blathering.
Anyway, I'm really sorry, and I'm sorry.
She grabs the menu.
What's everyone getting?
Just then, the waitress walks over with change from the check, and Andy realizes she's missed the whole dinner. And without saying anything, Nate reaches over and takes something off her head, her tiara. Interior, subway, night. Andy and Nate are next to each other, surrounded by late night time.
I must have lost track of time. It's so stupid. That never happened before. I'm really sorry I was late. It won't happen again.
Nate gives her a look. Yeah. Music up. A montage that shows that as Andy's career starts to take off, her relationships continue to spiral downward. In the apartment, Andy wakes up. Nate is already gone. Runway reception. Andy steps off the elevator with all the other runaway girls, and now with her confident stride and her fashionable attire, she is indistinguishable from any of the others. Central Park. Nate, Doug, and Lily and a bunch of their friends play frisbee in the park. The summer is beginning to turn into fall. Camera finds Andy on the cell phone. Ralph Lauren showroom. We see Andy Back in the Ralph Lauren show, they wheel out a rack of sweaters. Andy slips his shirts, confident, selecting and rejecting. Apartment. We see Nate in his apartment, alone, waiting for Andy. Finally, he picks up his jacket and walks out. Runway. Andy goes through the book with Jocelyn, clarifying Miranda's notes. A couple fashion assistants take notes as Miranda talks. On the street, gone. Andy walks to work so early the sun is still shining, rising. The air has turned cold now. She pulls her coat closer around her. McSorley's. Nate, Doug, and Lily out for drinks. Andy is nowhere to be found. Nate's cell phone rings. The caller ID flashes Andy. Nate turns off the ringer and ignores the call. Doug and Lily exchange a look. Interior, reception, day. A handsome Italian man, Massimo Corteleone, steps off the elevator. Miranda greets him. They air kiss.
Massimo, mio amore.
Miranda, bellissima.
He rattles off some more compliments in Italian as she leads him down the hall to her office.
Oh, Massimo, stop. I'm a married woman, you know.
She walks him by Andy and Emily.
Andrea, this is Massimo Corteleone, president of LVMH. If you need anything at all, just let Andrea know.
And with that, she sweeps Massimo into the office. Andy realizes Emily is staring at her. She shrugs as if what Miranda just said was no big deal, but Emily knows it is. Interior, runway, night. Andy waits for the book, no longer timid, blasting a song on the stereo and singing along.
Are you kidding me? Okay, ain't I rough enough, ain't I rich enough, I'm not too blind to see.
Suddenly, the intercom sounds. Book's done.
The book is done. I said the book is done. I had that all queued up, and crew had to be listening to Drake at that moment.
Interior, Miranda's foyer, night. Andy steps in, carrying the dry cleaning and the book, moving quickly. Suddenly, she hears a voice emerging from the dark.
Andrea.
Andy practically has a heart attack.
Come in.
Andy steps in the apartment, curious and scared.
As you know, Paris is the most important week of the year for me. The schedule of shows and interviews is horrendous, and I'm under a microscope.
Andy looks at her, not sure where this concerns her.
And so, as you can imagine, for that week it is vital that I have the best team possible with me, the most skilled individuals at the magazine.
And this is when Andy starts to have a bad feeling.
Yes, of course you do, and...
You're coming to Paris with me, Andrea.
Oh, no. You don't mean that. Emily would die. Her whole life is about Paris. She hasn't eaten in weeks.
It's not for you to tell me what I can and can't do. You are coming with me to Paris.
With all due respect, I can't do that, Miranda. I just can't. I've only been at Runway for 5 months.
Then you're fired.
Excuse me?
If you don't come to Paris, I will assume you're not serious about your job, and I would have no choice but to dismiss you. On the other hand, bye guys, thanks for watching. On the other hand, if you do a good job in Paris and continue to impress me, there's no end. Oh, I can't read, I'm sorry. There's no end to your future at Runway or any place else.
She smiles at her very most seductive.
The decision is strictly up to you.
What?
That's all.
Interior, elevator, night. Andy rides down in shock. She closes her eyes. Damn it. Exterior, Central Park West, night. Andy walks out of Miranda's building. Croy opens the door for her, but she waves him away. Exterior, Broadway, night. Andy walks downtown alone, thinking. Interior, Andy's apartment, later. Andy looks through the clips of all her articles from college and at a picture of herself at graduation, surrounded by her parents, her relatives, her friends. Her parents are beaming, exuding pride. Interior, runway, day. The desks outside Miranda's office are empty. We hold for a few beats. Then Andy comes in, walking slowly, still unsure. And at that moment, Miranda appears. They look at each other. Miranda nods, almost imperceptibly. Andy nods back. And Miranda takes her coat off. Andy holds out her arms to take the coat from her, but Miranda puts the coat on Emily's desk instead, right in front of Emily's Eiffel Tower screensaver. And then Miranda strides into her office. Andy sits down, trying to grasp the magnitude of what just happened. And then Miranda pokes her head back in.
Don't forget to tell Emily.
And we see Andy's face. Me? Interior, runway, day. Andy is waiting for Emily, dreading her arrival. Suddenly, she can't take it anymore. She dials the phone. Exterior, mid-down street, day. Emily flies down the street, and even more than her usual tizzy.
Emily?
Sorry, I'm late. I got there early and realized I forgot to get more Hermes scarves for the trip.
Emily, I have to talk to you.
I freaked out, of course, but then I just called Chantel at home and she opened the store early, so I got them.
Emily juggles a stack of the bright orange Hermes scarf boxes, her purse, her cell phone. Emily almost mows down an old lady. She sorry.
Okay, Emily, when you get in, I want to talk to you about something.
I hope it's not another Miranda problem.
Not exactly.
Good, because I've got so much to deal with before I go. I swear to God, I can't even...
And that's when Emily steps into the street without looking. The second she steps off the sidewalk, blam! Emily is hit by a taxi. We see her purse, her cell phone, her orange Hermes shopping bag, some orange Hermes boxes, and some of the white scarves as they fly through the air. Interior, Linell Hospital, Linell Hill Hospital, day. Andy sits in the waiting room, distraught. Interior, hospital room, day. Lying in a hospital bed, her face with no makeup, wearing a dumpy hospital robe. Andy looks like what she is, a skinny, tired, young girl. Andy stands by the window, arms folded, defensive.
I don't care if she's going to fire you or beat you with a hot poker. You should have said no.
I didn't have a choice. You know how she is.
Just then, an orderly walks in with a dare, laden with fattening food. Cream soup, bread, pasta, cheese, and dessert? Emily grabs a pudding, peels the foil off the top.
What gets me about this whole thing is you're the one who pretends you don't care about this stuff. You don't care about fashion. You just want to be a journalist. Blah, blah, blah. What a pile of bullshit.
She angrily finishes the last spoon of pudding, grabs a dinner roll, which she starts to butter.
Look, I know you're mad, and I don't blame you.
Face it, Andy, you sold your soul the day you put on those Jimmy Choos.
She bites off a hunk of dinner roll.
And you know what really kills me? The clothes you're about to get. You don't deserve them. And you eat carbs, for Christ's sake. God, it's so unfair. Just go.
Emily.
Said go.
Interior, runaway, day. Andy sits in Nigel's office, as Nigel and the fashion assistant swirl outfits in front of him.
To accompany Miranda to a bistro, chuffed, charcoal gray theory pants with a black silk turtleneck by Celine. For the tennis club where she'll receive private lessons, bootleg workout pants, zip-up hoodie and tank top, all by Prada Sport. For the front row of the Chanel show, a pleated schoolgirl skirt by Anna Sui with a sheer white Miu Miu blouse and Chanel spectators with a Michael Kors blazer.
A beauty editor appears in front of Andy with a cosmetic bag.
Interior shadows, liners, lipsticks in matte, high shine, and long lasting and clear. 6 mascaras from light blue to pouty black, eyelash curler, and 2 eyelash combs. Liquid, solid, and powder blush. And of course, your moisturizers. Glimmering, tinted, scented, unscented, hypoallergenic, and alpha hydroxy.
The beauty editor now pulls out a sketchbook with a different page for each event, with the labels like outdoor daytime and relaxed evening glamour, not for book tie.
There's no way I can do all this.
Hopefully, you won't have to. This is for emergencies only. If for some reason your hair and makeup people can't make it.
I have my own hair and makeup person.
I don't get it. You will be with Miranda every waking hour. You are part of the image she reflects to the world. You need to look right. And now for the evening attire.
On Andy, there's more clothes. Interior, runway, night. The hubbub has died down. Andy looks at Nigel, exhausted.
On Saturday night, Miranda is throwing the event of the Fashion Week, a soiree honoring James Holt. I'll be there, of course, but you need to make sure it goes without a hitch.
Sure, great. Somebody shoot me.
You know the funny thing? Haven't known you that long, but I'm gonna really miss you.
He looks at him. What? He smiles.
Who's leaving Runway? Who got a new job? Oh, yes, me.
You're kidding me.
James Holt just got like $1 billion from LVMH. You know, they have that dreamboat president, Massimo. He's giving James money to start his new line, and he needs a partner. Miranda knows. She put me up for it.
Oh my god, Nigel, that's amazing. What a fantastic job.
Oh, I know. Pays up the wazoo, lots of money and power. What's not to like? People would kill for a job like that. What the hell is wrong with you? No one with a pile of free couture should ever have that expression on their face.
I wish I could get excited about going to Paris, but I still feel terrible.
You mean about Emily? Oh, please. Emily would have sold you out 10 times faster than you did.
That doesn't make it right.
Oh, please. Don't give me that Miss America crap. You did what you had to do. End of story. Andy, after Paris, the sky's the limit for you. Who knows? You might even be a size 4 one day. Car picks you up tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Interior, Chelsea Gallery, night. Lily has curated the show at the gallery where she works. The place bustles with groovy art. Lily runs around like she owns the place, much the way Andy does the runway now. Andy walks in, looks around, impressed by the art in the crowd. Lily spots Andy and runs over. They hug.
Oh my god. Lily, look at this.
I'm just a junior curator.
Stop that. This is amazing. I'm so proud of you.
I'm glad you came. I wasn't sure if you were going to be able to make it.
What are you talking about? I wouldn't miss this. Okay, so lately I've missed a few things. A lot of things. Almost everything.
You're here now, and that's all that matters.
Lily runs off to greet someone. Andy walks over to Doug, who is at the buffet, carefully piling shrimp on a tiny plate.
You got... Wait, no.
Mhm.
Hey, Dougie.
Hey, got fired today. Want some shrimp?
You got...
I'm broke. I'm lying to my parents, and today I watched 6 episodes of Put My Red on TiVo. I feel awesome. Take the shrimp.
Doug, I'm so sorry.
Don't be. I'm staring into the abyss. The abyss is cool.
Interior, Chelsea Gallery, later. Andy waits to the bathroom. She hears a voice.
Hey, Miranda girl.
She closes her eyes. Can't be. She turns. Yep.
What are you doing here?
Art. I like art. You know, I was just thinking about you.
Bull.
I'm going for gone today for New York, and I was making plans for Paris, and I found myself wondering if my Miranda girl is going to be there.
Actually,
Stop smiling. Why am I smiling?
I am going. I just found out. And
That's great. I'm staying at this killer hotel in the mirrors right across from the street from a falafel restaurant that will
sorry, I'll be too busy working. You'll have to find someone else's life to change.
But that's just it. I'm starting to wonder if I can.
And with that, he leans in, plants a soft kiss on her cheek. Andy closes her eyes, blushing like crazy. She closes her eyes, Christian is gone, and it's not for a moment that she notices Lily, about 10 feet away, staring at her, a look of surprise and disgust on her face. Interior, Chelsea Gallery, night. Andy follows Lily through the gallery.
He's just a guy I know from work.
Yeah, that looked like work.
You're making a big deal out of...
The Andy I know is madly in love with Nate, is always 5 minutes early, and thinks Old Navy is couture. For the last 16 years, I've known everything about that Andy. They're her last hangnail. But this person, this glamazon who sits around in corners with some random hot fashion guy, I don't get her.
Andy tries to say something, but Lily interrupts.
In case you're interested, Nate is looking for you.
She indicates Nate across the room. He waves. She walks over to him and gives him a kiss. Exterior, Chelsea Gallery, later that night. Nate and Andy walk together down the street, away from the gallery. The street is shiny from a recent rain.
I think it's great. Going to Paris, a big opportunity.
I know, but it means I can't go to California. And
Please, you were never coming with me.
look, I know you're upset, but I've been so busy. Missed your birthday.
Andy, please. I don't care about that stuff. It's you. You're changing.
That's not true.
You used to be thoughtful, down to earth, no bullshit. When you started that job, you laughed at the runway girls, their vanity, their pettiness, the way they worshipped Miranda. And now, you've become one of them. Some new creature. Mirandy.
I don't understand what you're asking me to do. Quit. I can't give up now. I've worked too hard. Come too far.
Andy, all I know is, if I met you today, I don't know if I'd even go over and talk to you, let alone spend 2 years of my life with you.
You don't mean that.
Yeah, Andy, I do.
Then maybe this trip is coming at a good time. Maybe we should take a break for a while.
She stands there, turns to protest, throw his arms around her. Instead, he walks away.
Nate!
He turns, and then just then her phone rings. They both know who it is, and that she has to take the call.
I hope you... Nope. In case you're wondering, the person whose calls you always take, that's the relationship you're in.
The phone keeps ringing.
I hope you two are very happy together.
And he walks away. Andy clicks on the phone.
Hello, Miranda?
Interior, airplane, day. Miranda and Andy are in first class. The tray of champagne and orange juice comes around. Miranda waves it off. Andy does too. Interior, airplane, day. Andy goes back to the gallery, grabs a couple of champagne glasses and downs them. the flight attendants. Interior, airplane. It's dark now, and everyone on the plane is asleep. Miranda is asleep, mouth closed, makeup seamless, all the hair out of place. Perfect, even at rest. We move over to Andy, who sleeps like a normal person, hair askew, mouth slightly open. Interior, limo, night. Andy looks out the window, watching Paris at night whizzing by her. She's in awe. Miranda is not even looking out the window. Exterior, Place des Vendômes. The Paris Ritz. Miranda's limo pulls up. Interior, Ritz Hotel Suite, Paris, night. The bellman opens the door to a huge suite. Andy looks confused.
Wait, this is not right. Miranda is staying in the suite.
That is correct, mademoiselle. Miranda Priestley's suite is down the hall.
This is my room?
Interior, Miranda's Ritz Hotel Suite, night. Andy walks into Miranda's room, which makes the other place look like a dump. She stares.
Get out the guest list. We need to start working on the seating chart.
Andy grabs her notebook, tries not to gape at the luxurious surroundings.
By all means, move at a glacial pace. You know how that thrills me.
Andy springs to attention. Interior, Ritz Hotel Room, night. Andy, in the sumptuous Ritz robe, looks out the window at the amazing view. Can't believe she's here. She smiles. Interior, Miranda's Ritz Hotel Suite, day. The next morning, we see Miranda getting ready. A team of people works on her. Hair, makeup, pedicure, manicure. We move across through the wall. Interior, Ritz Hotel Room, day. To the room next door, where we see Andy getting the exact same VIP treatment. She can't believe this is happening to her. Quick cuts of Andy and Miranda in Paris. Interior, fashion show, day. Andy sits in the front row beside Miranda. Half the invitees are looking at the clothes, the other half are watching Miranda's reaction to the clothes. Interior, Paris restaurant, nice. A tiny restaurant on the Rue de Richelieu, called Dave, or Dave, where all the fashion notables meet
Dave.
for Fashion Week. Miranda dines with a table full of designers, editors, and celebrities, and Andy is right there beside her. Interior, Miranda's Ritz Hotel Suite, day. A map of the inside of the chateau with tables arranged on it. Andy does the seating arrangements with Miranda, looking over her shoulder, pointing. Exterior, fashion show, night. The Versace show. Miranda walks by the paparazzi, waiting outside the show. They scream her name. She shows off her best smile. Andy squints, blinded by the flashbulbs. Interior, Ritz lobby, day. Andy stands near Miranda, who is in the lobby, chatting with Stella McCartney, when Christian comes up beside Andy.
I think you owe me.
She turns and is happy to see a friendly face.
Oh, do I?
You working tonight?
Actually, Miranda has a dinner.
So you're free. Perfect. Oh, but there's a problem, huh? Le boyfriend.
At the mention of this, Andy blushes slightly.
Wait, don't tell me. The boyfriend is non plus? Je suis très désolé?
You're so full of shit. You are not désolé at all.
Yeah, not even a little. What time should I pick you up tonight?
Interior, Ritz Hotel Room, evening. Andy is getting dressed in one of her many fab outfits. Interior, Miranda's Ritz Hotel Suite, evening. Miranda is just out of the shower when she hears a knock at the door, and a bellman hands her an envelope. Interior, Ritz Hotel corridor, day. Andy walks down the hall to Miranda's suite, feeling cheerful, looking great. She knocks on the door. Miranda opens the door and immediately turns away. Walking over to the window, she looks out over the rooftops of Paris. Interior, Miranda's Ritz Hotel Suite, continuous. Andy follows, and her eyes widen as she notices something which shocks her to her core. Miranda is wearing
I came to remind you, you're having dinner at Natalie Lemon's house in the country this evening, and...
Miranda walks back over to the window without a word. looks back out over the city.
Do you know where I grew up?
Andy shakes her head. Couldn't be more surprised by this conversation if they were both on fire.
Pearl River, New York. Right on the border with Jersey. Cultural highlight? The Nanuet Mall. My dad owned a tire store. But Pearl River is only 30 miles from Manhattan, on the Palisades Parkway. I grew up reading Runway, Elle, Vogue, sneaking into New York to stand in the back of the shows, soaking it all up.
Andy is perfectly still.
When I was hired as Natalie's assistant, I knew I would make it. I knew I would be her someday. That's all I ever wanted to be, the editor of Runway.
A long beat, and finally Miranda turns. She has no makeup on. Her hair is damp and unstyled, and she's obviously been crying.
We need to think of a way to keep it out of the New York press.
Andy looks at her, not understanding. Miranda points to an envelope on the table.
Divorce papers. Preliminary, of course.
Andy takes in the shock of this.
Funny thing is, I thought Stefan and I were going to make it. Wow, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I don't know why I thought we would make it. Third time's the charm. I used to call him my lucky third. First, they're always proud to be with me. Proud to be with a powerful, accomplished woman. They say they don't want some little housewife, but then...
Andy is watching her, just listening.
I love him. I do. I just can't be what he wants me to be. And my girls, another stepfather, gone.
And she can't even bring herself to think this part through.
You want to take the evening off? I can reschedule everything.
Miranda looks at her. Interior, Ritz Hotel lobby, night. We see Miranda striding through the lobby, and what we notice is she looks like regular Miranda. Sun up, perfect, confident walk. Exterior, Ritz Hotel, night. Miranda breezes out of the hotel, sits in a waiting limo. Interior, night. Miranda closes the door, takes a deep breath, and now that she's alone for 1 second, her voice just a little.
Let's go.
Interior, L'Ambroisie, night. Christian and Andy have dinner in a tidy romantic restaurant on the Place des Vosges.
Oh, come on. You hate her. She whips you with tire chains.
She can be tough to work for, but there's another side to her.
No, there isn't. She's a ball buster. That's all.
You wouldn't be saying that if she were a man. You'd be admiring her strength, her grit, her tenacity. But because she's a woman, those things make her a ball buster. What's so funny?
You, defending her, you've completely crossed over to the dark side. It's pretty sexy.
He grins, pours her more wine. Interior, L'Ambroisie, night. They drink glass after glass of wine. Exterior, Paris Street, night. They walk home together through the Place des
Vosges.
I never understood why everyone was so crazy about Paris, but now?
She swirls around.
It's so beautiful.
And suddenly, he catches one of her arms, and almost like a dance move, pulls her into him and kisses her.
I can't do this.
Another kiss.
Nate and I only split up a few days ago.
Another kiss.
I've had too much wine and my judgment is impaired.
Another kiss.
I barely know you and I'm in a strange city.
He kisses her again.
I'm out of reasons.
Thank God.
I hate that part.
Interior.
This is acting. Folks. This is acting.
We're all professionals. Yeah.
Interior, Christian's hotel room. Night. Andy and Kristen are kissing on his bed. Her phone rings. Oops, I did it again.
That's still her ringtone.
Andy ignores it. But we see the caller ID. It says, Mom and Dad. Dissolve 2. Interior, Christian's hotel room. Morning. Andy wakes up. Her careful hair and makeup from the night before are wildly askew. She realizes what she did, and that she has a headache. She sits up, catches sight of herself in the mirror. Ouch. We hear the sound of the bell. Christian calls out.
Order room service. Anything you want.
I have to go back to my room and
Can't hear you.
Andy starts getting dressed. She picks up her jacket, she knocks over a few papers, and she sees something sticking out. A mock-up of a magazine with the familiar runway logo. She picks it up. Interior, shower, day. Christian stands under the spray of water. Suddenly, the shower curtain is yanked back. Andy's standing there, furious. She holds the issue of mock-up.
what the hell is this?
Christian, cool as can be, steps out, nude, and grabs the towel, which he wraps around himself.
It's a sample
Of?
of what American Runway is gonna be when Jacqueline is editing it.
He pulls on a t-shirt.
We worked on it together. She's bringing me in to run all the editorial content of the magazine.
They're replacing Miranda?
Are you really surprised? Runway is one of the most expensive books in the business. Jacqueline does all the same thing, with a lot less money.
And that's the most important thing?
Money is always the most important thing.
You think I've crossed over to the dark side? Listen to yourself.
Who said I was not on the dark side?
This is a shitty thing for her. After all she's done for Elias Clark, Miranda will be devastated. Runway's her whole life.
Something tells me she'll land on her feet. I guess it's not the worst thing that you could have found out. You'll probably have to look for a new job. Irv's going to tell Miranda this morning at breakfast.
He turns to his closet and contemplates his sports coat.
And I'm not.
As one does.
You've proven that you're more than capable of fending for yourself.
He picks a jacket, puts it on, turns to Andy, only to find the door open and Andy gone. Interior, Ritz Hotel corridor, day. Andy races down the hall. Her cell phone rings again. She looks at it. Mom and Dad. She turns off the ringer. She knocks on Miranda's door. No answer. She thinks. Dials. Interior, Nigel's hotel room, day. Nigel is just waking up in his hotel room in Paris.
I've tried her call 50 times. Cell. I've tried her cell 50 times.
Can't you just track her down at her first appointment?
I have to talk to her right now.
Day. Andy paces, unsure of what to do. She dials Miranda's number, yet again. Finally, Miranda picks up.
Thank God. Where are you?
Excuse me?
I need to talk to you right away.
Don't have time. I'm having breakfast with Irv. You should be busy all day preparing for the James Holt party.
Miranda, you don't understand. It's very important. I have to tell you.
And the phone clicks off. Miranda has hung up. This garners some stares. She sits down on a chair to think. Her cell phone rings again and her heart leaps. Miranda. But no. She picks up.
Hey, Mom, listen. I'm at work. It's really crazy over here, and...
We hear the voice of Andy's mother, Hannah.
Before I say anything, don't be too worried. He's fine.
What are you talking about, Mom?
Interior, Cincinnati Hospital, day. Hannah is in the hospital, sitting beside Richard.
Father had a heart attack last night. Everything's fine now. They've given him medication and he's resting comfortably.
Interior, Ritz lobby, day. Andy clutches the phone.
Oh my god. Should I come home?
Interior, Cincinnati Hospital, day. Hannah looks over at Richard, resting.
You know your father. He would never ask. And he knows how busy you are, so...
Exterior, Starbucks, day. We see Andy holding back tears.
I just wanted you to know so you can make your own decision.
Andy stands there a moment, teetering on a precipice. Then she starts to walk, quickly. Exterior, Paris Street, day. Andy dashes through Paris. Interior, Hotel Creole lobby, day. Andy runs up to the front desk.
Irv Rabbits?
Interior, Hotel Creole corridor, day. Andy runs down a corridor. She paces a second, knowing she's going to get her ass kicked, then knocks on the door. The door opens. Irv stands there, surprised. We see Miranda busting behind her. When she sees Andy, she walks over, turns to Irv.
Excuse us a moment.
Miranda pulls Andy into the hall.
Have you lost your mind?
I have to talk to you.
Whatever it is can wait until later.
Miranda walks into the room, closes the door in Andy's face. Interior, Hotel Crelon corridor, night. Andy sits in the hallway, wondering what to do. Just then, Miranda comes out. Andy springs up and follows her. Miranda doesn't say anything. She just starts walking. Andy follows.
Is everything... Did that go okay? I mean, are you okay?
Miranda just keeps walking.
Did he say anything about... I mean, what did he say?
Miranda stops, aggravated.
Now I know you've lost your mind.
I was just wondering. I mean, if there's anything I can do...
Yes, there is. Your job.
And Miranda walks away. Andy stands there. Exterior, chateau, establishing, evening. A gorgeous 17th century castle in the countryside. Guests are arriving. Andy is outside, working with the staff, coordinating arrivals. She excuses herself for a moment. We see her dial her cell phone. Exterior, chateau, evening. A few seconds later, we see Andy, standing outside the chateau, on the phone.
Hey, Dad. Mom says you're doing great. I just wanted you to know... I'm going to come home and see you just as soon as Paris is over, okay? Thanks. I love you too.
Interior, chateau, evening. The chateau we saw in the opening with the party is in full swing. Andy is bustling around, checking all the details. The seating, the flowers, making sure the guests are happy. She spots Christian, who raises a glass to her. She looks away. Interior, chateau, evening. Andy watches Miranda as she greets the guests. So composed, so gracious. Andy marvels. Just then, Nigel clings his fork on a glass. He's standing at the podium on the dais, ready to speak. Miranda walks over, sits down on the dais. Andy follows. Dissolve 2. Interior, chateau, later. We pick up on the scene from the opening.
One of the most elegant women ever to walk the planet. I give you Miranda Priestley.
We see Andy, applauding, smiling, her eyes open. Miranda steps to the podium, and we hear that short screech of feedback. She covers with a laugh, tries again.
Thank you, everyone. First, I want to congratulate James on his new line, which is nothing short of miraculous.
James smiles at her, raises a glass of champagne.
But before I tell you in detail about how much I love James Holt, I want to say a few words. Today is not just an important night for me, for Runway, and for James, but an important day for someone else in this room.
Her eyes land on Jacqueline Fillet. Andy watches. What the hell? She shoots a look at Christian. Can tell from the look on his face he has no idea where this is going. Flashback to interior, Hotel Chrome Suite, day. Earlier that day, Miranda sits across from Irv.
Miranda, there's something I'd like to discuss with you, and
Miranda takes a piece of paper out of her hermit portfolio and pushes it over.
what is that?
It's a list.
Flash forward to interior, chateau, day. Miranda continues.
I have the privilege of announcing that, I have the privilege of announcing that my comrade, Jacqueline Follet, editor-in-chief of the French edition of Runway, will, as of next month, be...
We see Andy's face. Holy shit. Looks at Christian, just as stunned as she is. Flashback to interior, Hotel Chrome Suite, day. Irv looks at the list.
As you know, I have an open invitation from every other fashion magazine in the world, Vogue, Elle, Harper's, and if, for whatever reason, I had to leave Runway, these are all the designers who have said they will give me first look at their collections. This is the list of photographers who will book time with me first, and these are the top models who will do the same. You know how I feel about Runway. I intend to be there as long as you'll have me, so my intention is never to use this list. But I do have it.
He looks at the list, then up at her. She's composed, cheerful.
Now, you had something you wanted to discuss?
Flash forward to interior, chateau, evening. As of next month, Miranda continues.
Max is just going to take over my part. I'm not doing good enough. Okay. As of next month, Jacqueline Follet will be partnering with James Holt in the new expansion of his business. The brilliant Massimo has chosen her as the new co-president of JH International.
And she indicates Jacqueline, who waves. Everyone applauds. Jacqueline extends her hand to Massimo. He waves. Andy's mouth falls open. She looks over at Nigel. His face betrays nothing. He applauds along with everyone else. And Andy looks to Christian, who is also shocked as hell.
I know Jacqueline will be every bit the comrade to James she has been to me. Let's all wish her the best.
A hearty round of applause for Jacqueline. Miranda smiles. Flashback to interior, Paris Cafe, day. We see Miranda sitting in the corner of a tiny cafe with James Holt and Massimo. Jacqueline enters, walks over to the table.
Jacqueline, you remember Massimo from LVMH?
Flash forward to interior, chateau, evening. Miranda continues.
And now, to the business at hand, a celebration of one of my favorite designers.
She smiles at Jimmy. James. Interior, chateau, later. Andy watches everyone swirling around Miranda. She walks over to Nigel among the crowd of well-wishers.
You said it was your dream job.
He turns to her, some emotion on his face now.
She's given me everything I have, Andy. When it's time, she'll pay me back.
You sure about that?
No. But I hope for the best.
And he rejoins the swirl. And Andy sees Christian having a drink, trying to cover. Andy walks over to him.
Don't feel bad, Christian. Most people eventually wash up on the rocky shoals of Miranda Priestley, right?
So I've heard.
He looks at her. Her gaze back is level, so over the sky.
Better luck next time.
Andy.
That's all.
She turns away from him, runs right into Miranda.
I'm ready to go too.
And Andy walks away without looking back at Christian. Interior, limo, night. Miranda and Andy ride along in the limo on their way back to Paris. Miranda is relaxed, victorious.
You knew what they were planning. Christian had to brag about it. So predictable. And you thought I didn't know. You think that's the first time I had to defend myself? There's always someone gunning for this job. I was impressed, though, how hard you tried to warn me, and that whatever you thought was happening, you just kept on doing your job. I never thought I would say this, but I see a lot of myself in you. Your sharpness, your focus, your ability to see a move or two ahead. Above all, your dedication.
Thank you, Miranda.
Your father was ill, yet you chose to stay and help me and help Runway. That's very admirable. Nigel told me it was the right choice, exactly what I would have done when I was your age.
Miranda looks out the window. They're approaching the next party, and the paparazzi are waiting outside as the fabulous people stream into a Paris nightclub.
Not everyone can do that. Push their feelings aside.
And
The
now
more
she's
powerful...
speaking And now she's speaking as much to herself as to Andy.
The more powerful you get, the more you'll be judged and scrutinized, on display. You'll miss things. Vacation, sunsets, moments with your family. Some people in your life will never accept your priorities. Not everyone can withstand that pressure, Andy. But now you know that you can.
Andy stares at her, blown away by what Miranda is saying.
And so, now you know that you can have my life. You can do what I do. Because you can sacrifice the things that need to be sacrificed.
But what if I can't do that? I mean, what if that's not what I want?
Miranda looks at her and smiles, and this time, for the first time, her smile is almost maternal.
Don't be silly, Andy. Of course that's what you want. Everyone wants to be me.
And with that, she opens the door to the limo, onto the red carpet, where she's instantly embraced by the flashing lights of the camera. Andy quietly steps out behind Miranda, squinting. She's never gotten used to the lights. Miranda moves down the red carpet. We follow her, and it's not until Miranda is about to open the door that she realizes Andy is no longer beside her. Exterior, Champs-Élysées, night. We see Andy walking up the Champs-Élysées in the dusky night. She has never looked more beautiful. She is serene, and she is free. The wind blows through her hair. She smiles. Suddenly, her phone rings. She looks down at it, having forgotten it was in her hand. The name Miranda glows in the dim light. Andy doesn't break stride for a moment as she tosses the ringing phone into the nearest fountain. Interior, airplane, day. Andy walks past the first-class cabin, down the aisle, where she squeezes into a coach seat. Exterior, street, day. We see Andy in her rental car driving past Three Rivers Stadium in Cincinnati. Interior, house, Cincinnati, day. Andy stands at the door to the nice, unhip Midwestern house she grew up in. The door opens. Richard, her dad. Andy flies into his arms, and he holds her, smiling. Exterior, airport, day. Andy walks out to JFK. Lily is standing outside in her beat-up Honda Civic.
Count cars in the shop.
Shut up.
They smile. Interior, coffee shop, night. Annie waits nervously. She's wearing jeans, an old sweater. Still, she's different. The hair, the shoes. Suddenly, Nate appears.
Pokemon.
Thank you for coming. I thought you might stand me up. Nate, from the minute I quit my job, all I've thought about was what I would say to you. I've rehearsed it in my head a million times, how I would apologize for being such a jerk, for getting carried away, thinking that what I was doing is more important than... Is that Dad? Get out, please.
Get out. Please leave. For just a moment. I didn't mean any disrespect. Leave the sign.
Yeah, why can't can't you read?
Yeah, read the sign.
That's not in the script.
Yeah, guys, what page is that on?
God, oh no. I was doing is more than the people I care about. There's no excuse for how I treated you and how I let Miranda and my ambition take me over until I became this bad person. And now that you're here, I feel like saying all that isn't enough. I'm just so sorry.
I know you are.
And I'm really happy for you. Lily told me that you got the job in San Francisco.
Yeah. How about that? Can't believe it.
Feet. They smile at each other. Okay, with each other. Even friends, maybe.
So, how about you? What are you gonna do now?
Not sure, but I actually have a job interview today.
Beat.
And that's what you're wearing?
It takes her a while to get this. She bursts into laughter. Ah, and they both laugh. Interior, waiting day. Andy sits nervously in the waiting room of the New York Observer, the total opposite of the runway offices. Interior, office, day. Andy sits across from a scruffy guy in his early 40s.
You know, our pay is crap.
That's fine.
He looks at a resume.
I love your clips. That thing in the janitors union? That's exactly what we do here.
She smiles, humble now.
The question is, runway? What kind of blip was that?
Learned a lot. In the end, though, I kind of screwed it up.
Not what I hear.
Andy looks at him, confused.
Called over there for a reference. Left word to some snooty type girl. And you know, I got a fax from Miranda Priestley.
Andy blanches.
Saying that of all the assistants she had, you were by far her biggest disappointment. But that you are destined to be a gigantic success, and if I don't hire you, I'm an idiot. So you must have done something right.
Exterior, street, day. Andy walks out of the job interview and out onto the street, stunned. Exterior, street, day. Andy walks over to the Elias Clark building, looking at a place that was, in its way, a home to her. Her eyes sweep up the building to the runway offices. Interior, runway, day. We see Emily back at her desk. The camera widens out so we can see a new second assistant. Eager and nervous in the place Andy used to sit. Exterior, street, day. Andy looks up, thoughtful, and suddenly she sees Miranda walk out of the building. She stops, looks over at Miranda, and Miranda looks over, her eyes meeting Andy. A beat, and then Andy nods her head, in thanks, a salutation, and in farewell. But Miranda does not react. She gets into the car. Andy shakes her head. That's Miranda. She smiles, then turns and starts to walk down the street. Interior, car, day. Miranda gets in, sits back in her seat, and through her window she can see Andy, a bounce in her step, walking away. And Miranda, alone, where no one can see her, finally breaks into a real smile. Then she nods to her driver. Exterior, street, day. We see Miranda's limo pulling away, and Andy walking down the street, moving in different directions, further and further away, as we fade.
Yay!
Yay! Even if I point my lamp at me, I don't think you're going to be able to. Ah! My
Okay,
chest is here! Here I am!
Yay.
I'm so
So,
Yeah, like,
hot
that's
take. Yeah, hot take. I think she shouldn't have gone back to Nate in any capacity. because he's kind of
neither.
I mean,
awful.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Christian was.
Nate is
No, I mean, yeah, after Christian, I
Christian,
totally
yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Christian
No,
was
yeah, I
something.
just think her friends like totally beat on her for like actually trying and just like doing a good job, and like sure she's
I
like
know.
missing stuff, but they're like completely insensitive to anything else.
I know.
Yeah.
And then the lesson is like, don't be like that. And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know, like, my career matters.
That was really
It's an
fun.
animated movie.
Yeah.
Good.
We should make
Mhm.
this a series. Can this be a
Okay,
content series?
I'm down. So
Can we do
at one
Princess
point,
Diaries next? Keep
next,
with Anne Hathaway.
maybe.
Next
Okay.
time, read the entire script of every single episode of SpongeBob SquarePants, all 19 seasons.
Absolutely not.
Does it record like a video of this when you?
It does. We can go back and watch it like as soon as I end it.
You should like publish it on
Dude.
your
Oh,
YouTube channel.
please.
I would
so we
like
can
to.
watch it again.
And I would also like to
Include all
add
the
that
parts with my racist French accent.
that was pretty good. Actually, no, Ethan's French accent was like pretty good.
Yeah,
Really,
like,
I
weirdly
hated
good.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hated it. I can't.
I
do
liked it. I was like,
accents.
wow, where did she come from?
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Like, wow, you're actually talented for one. You actually showed some
Unexpected.
semblance of talent.
My sister was really mad because I had to be on her side of the room, and so she just watched that whole thing. Yes, and then she just threw a pillow at me right at the end.
I don't know if you guys were watching me through this whole entire thing, but I died probably every like 20 seconds. I was like laughing at something.
That's why I broke characters so much, because like I would look down in the corner of the screen and Ethan would be like,
'Cause I was laughing.
And
I
it
had it
killed
muted
me.
though. No, none of
Yeah.
you. I didn't see any of you reacting, so I thought none of you were like paying attention. So that's
I
why.
kept trying
I,
not to
I
die
laughed
because
every
of
like
my
3
noticed.
seconds. That was
I didn't
hilarious.
think you guys are. I thought you guys all had it in like speaker view, so you couldn't like see me. You were just looking
No.
at the person talking, and I had.
Everybody's visible.
That-
I had to be in gallery view
Gallery.
so I could know if I fucked up anything like really badly. And you guys would look at me like,
Charlie has to
Bye,
go.
Charlie.
Bye, Charlie.
Charlie.
Thank you for
"Bye,
being
Charlie,
here.
Love you, babe.
Everyone who's still watching, thank you. That was a long haul. If I were you, I wouldn't still be watching. But thank
That
you.
was very enjoyable.
Yeah, at one point we had.
I didn't mess up as much as I thought I was going to, so that's good.
Also,
Honestly, me too.
I tried to divide the roles evenly, but it didn't work out as much as I thought I would. So, Emma, Max, thank you for chilling the whole time, even though you did not have as many lines as you should have. That's my B. I
I
roll.
would like a compensation in cash.
Yeah.
Thank you
I'm
for
gonna get sued.
considering me.
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Like much better.
I'm glad I got picked for something.
Oh my god. Oh, that was
Do I look like a
really
floating
good.
head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
You
Literally,
can do the
that's,
Bohemian
like,
Rhapsody
optimal.
music video now. No one?
Galileo.
What? I didn't know.
I didn't hear.
Galileo Figaro.
Oh,
Magnifico.
Thank
I
you.
get it. I just wasn't
Good dog.
listening.
I get
Tell
it
it
now.
me.
Try to hit
I get it now. Suddenly I see.
So funny.
Which I was gonna play that song at the beginning, but I forgot.
Did the script actually include that montage? Because the first time I read it, it looked like it didn't do that.
Right. I don't know.
I don't
I
think
wish
it did, because that
did.
I think
There were a lot of things in here that weren't in the movie. Like
Yeah.
a whole part with their dad. Like that wasn't in the movie.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's like a whole
screenplays
nother
be
plot
like
point,
that.
but wasn't in the
yeah.
movie. What else
Yeah.
was in
That
there?
just didn't
What?
exist.
The filing
the
cabinet
way it
line.
starts with- it doesn't start in with that.
Yeah, no, it
like-
doesn't start with Nigel.
Yeah, there's a montage at the beginning where she's
She's like getting ready for her interview. That's
She's
what
a
it
yeah,
is.
she's like living her
She's a
life.
beautiful girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
Oh,
tip.
yeah, and it plays that song
Yeah,
that's
and
like
it's
a
comparing
knockoff
her
of
to all the other
iCarly.
models getting ready and dressed.
I literally didn't watch the movie, so.
But we could tell.
Either.
Actor first.
Thanks.
I would.
I totally didn't say it that so many times.
Oh my gosh. I did not expect she steps into the road and gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that
she
that
fully,
happened.
like gets hit in the actual thing, like the sparks all just like rain down.
Yeah, and it happens exactly as it describes.
So she's like
in
lying
there.
there.
I forgot that she wasn't in the rest of the movie after that, which is hilarious to me because they're like, this is an
What?
important character, and then
There's that scene in the end where Andy calls her and is like,
right.
look, and she gives her all of the clothes from Paris.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
she's like to the new girl, she's like, you have big shoes to fill. or
Yeah.
You have big shoes to fill. Yeah, I remember that vaguely.
The part that they added in the movie that wasn't in here was the part like right after she like slept with Christian and she was like leaving and he's like, where are you going, baby? And she's like, I'm not your baby.
I'm not your baby.
And,
Yeah.
oh my God, I cried I was screaming at that part.
Oh, we
I'm
should have
sad.
just added that in. We should have just added that in on our own.
We should have
Honestly,
in any part of the screenplay.
Okay, so Alex.
Oh yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I'm heading out. Bye.
Oh, bye, Emma.
Bye, Ethan. No
Bye.
one else. Only Ethan.
Only to
Okay,
me.
you're not invited back.
Everyone else.
Bye,
She wasn't
everyone.
invited to this one.
Yeah, so someone gave her the Zoom password, and we're upset about that.
Accidental email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear anything
What was
I
that?
said?
No, I heard you say my name.
Yeah, and then I froze.
That's what happens when people say my name.
My brother texted me at like 7:20, and apparently your mic was like loud on OBS. So
Okay, yeah.
like, louder than others. So if we're gonna like turn.
Well, that's fine because I'm more important than.
Yeah.
What's he trying to say?
Is David watching? Tell David I said he's dumb and stupid.
I think you are such just ahead. You are just ahead.
Yeah,
That's an
who's dumb man
insult, thank you
stupid
very
now?
much.
You don't even have a body. Yeah, so I think we might say goodbye to the live stream and the 3 people who are still watching. I'm very sorry you had to see this.
Oh, it's still live
Bye.
streaming.
Thank you so much for. Oh wait, does anyone have anything they want to plug? Like Max, your podcast thing. I'm more excited about that than you are. I think.
Oh
Follow me on
man,
Instagram.
that is so not true. I was so excited about that.
fluffy galoshes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fluffy galoshes. I'm not gonna spell it out for you. You're just gonna have to figure it out.
Figure it out. Yeah, follow Ethan. Follow me.
I have one really good photo on there, so like, please.
Is it
look
the one
at
I took?
No, it's the one I took. It's the one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's of you.
Ethan is not in this live stream anymore. Thank you. Next.
I am appalled. I am appalled at this.
Is this
treachery.
oppression?
Yeah.
Should
Oh
I
my
show
God.
up? Should I show up to my next class Zoom meeting? Like,
Mhm.
and just be
Yeah.
voting head?
Yes.
'Cause I stole
Isn't
all
your
of
next
these
one
blankets.
AP Lang?
Yeah. So what
Yes,
if I
you
just
should.
drop it
Everyone
off?
who's watching now knows that Max has AP Lang next. Yeah. So
What's
I
next,
thanks.
ended the stream. I was saying a bunch of
No, I was
words.
planning on it, but then I asked if anyone had anything to plug. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want more shenanigans like this. Please.
Please.
And Path of X series. We're
We
just
need
doing every
validation.
single
Yeah,
thing.
add to my bank of 17 subscribers. Make it 18. Go ahead.
We need
And
validation, people.
yeah, like this video. This is not monetized because it's not my copyright material and because there are like 6 of you
And
watching.
now a word from our sponsor, Squarespace.
Yeah. This video was sponsored by Honey.
Yeah. Squatty potty.
Okay, everyone say bye to the stream. Bye.